cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
It's another JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and streaming on WJR.com, where Michigan comes to talk.
Well, good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is going to be a hot one.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the show about chicken wings. I'm talking about the weather outside.
Definitely.
It's going to be steamy, where there's going to be a heat advisory put into place at noon. Temperatures are going to climb near 100 degrees.
Yeah.
99 degrees, I think, was the last time I saw it. And the real feels are going to get up above 100 degrees.
And the city of Detroit opening all of the rec centers and the libraries as cooling centers. So if you need to get cool, you can go to any one of the Detroit rec centers or the libraries here in the city and cool off. And as that extreme heat continues to grip Southeast Michigan, SMART is going to be deploying air-conditioned buses in certain locations across Metro Detroit. The former Pontiac Center in Pontiac, the Phoenix Center in Pontiac, Fairlane Mall, Dearborn, Macomb Mall in Roseville, Southland Mall in Taylor, Bel Air Shopping Center in Detroit, and J.L. Hudson Drive. So there'll be buses, they'll be parked, but that air will be blowing.
That's good. Good news.
Good thing.
Meanwhile, have we figured out what exactly is causing this this parasite, this scourge?
Michigan health officials say lettuce and salad greens are now the leading suspected source of the state's growing Slycosporasis outbreak. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services reporting more than 2,600 cases statewide, far above the 40 to 50 cases Michigan typically sees in an entire year. Investigators have not identified a specific grower or supplier, but officials are urging consumers to buy whole heads of lettuce instead of bagged salad mixes. Discard the outer leaves and wash the remaining leaves thoroughly. Cook greens whenever possible to kill the parasite, and health officials say contaminated produce remains the focus of the investigation, while recreational swimming is not believed to be a source of the outbreak.
See, it's the salads have turned on me. See how that works?
Yeah.
I like a good salad.
Me too.
But they've turned. They've turned on me. We are now adversaries. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put a blockade on the salad.
You're gonna keep the salad from coming in?
Reinstituting the blockade. No more salads.
No more lettuce?
No more lettuce.
Okay.
Much like Donald Trump is reinstituting a blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. He says this is only for Iran, though.
It's a blockade not for anybody but Iran. In other words, anybody doing business with Iran can't go through. Everyone else will be able to go through. So it's a blockade. It's a very strong blockade.
The United States will also charge a 20% fee on cargo moving through the Strait of Hormuz, according to the president. And this is essentially because, according to the president, we need to be reimbursed for that protection.
We are going to be reimbursed for protection. We're protecting by the countries that we're helping.
Don't love it.
No.
Didn't love it when Iran said they were going to do it. When Iran and Oman were huddling together talking about how they were going to squeeze money from these companies.
Yep.
I don't love it. I don't know what, I mean, I think the blockade going back in is probably a good thing at this point. Again, strikes continue. The president said that those will continue. And, again, I don't know what else there is to do at this point. And here was the other thing that kind of upset me. The president yesterday said that we were in Vietnam for 19 years. We're here for like 4 months. So I think we've done a lot. And he was asked if this is the new norm for Americans. And he said that we've knocked out Iran's Navy and Air Force and missile capabilities and drone manufacturers. If we didn't do it, they would have a nuclear weapon. Well, it was not the time frame that you had set out initially.
Nope.
Now, understanding if you are dealing with any sort of military action, things change. Okay, I don't think anybody should be held to those numbers. But for those people that were skeptical up front, that this wasn't just going to be a 3-month mission, well, all of a sudden those people are going, well, see.
Yeah. And I mean, you may have wiped, he continues to say he wiped out the military and wiped out the Navy, and he wiped out all the, they hit the missile bunkers and the missile sites and stuff. But Iran is still shooting missiles.
Correct.
They haven't wiped that all the way out. I'm sure they've depleted them.
No.
But they're still shooting.
The president has certainly oversold, I think, the damage done. Unless they just, it's like a weed.
Yeah.
It's like, once you cut your dandelion, if you don't treat it, another dandelion's going to come up.
That's right.
So maybe that's the case, but certainly more work needs to be done to protect those in the strait.
And oil is up as well. I mean, it jumps above $80. I mean, we were talking, last week, it was, $65 for a barrel of oil. Now it's 80, and Brent oil is 86.
Yeah.
So it's gone up. Also, Lindsey Graham, the situation with him, like, who's going to take over now that he has passed away? Well, South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster has appointed Darlene Graham Nordone, the sister of the late Senator Lindsey Graham, to fill his U.S. Senate seat through the remainder of his term. Graham, as you know, died over the weekend at age 71 from what medical examiner says was likely an aortic dissection, a tear in the body's main artery. Nordone has never been elected office, but shared a close bond with her brother, who became her legal guardian after their father's death and later adopted her. She will serve until January, while South Carolina voters elect a senator to a full 6-year term in November following the Republican primary in August.
They had a tough life growing up. Mom died young. Dad died young as well, although Lindsey Graham was, I think, 20 years old-ish. You mentioned eventually legally adopting his sister to be her guardian. She has done some really good work over the years. She's been helping those with disabilities find jobs. And she talked a lot about what they both actually have in the past about what their relationship has been like over the years.
Yeah.
And losing your parents obviously young and having to step into that parental role for Lindsey Graham wasn't easy to do, but he did it. And now she's stepping up, which I think is pretty cool.
Well, yeah, it is a good thing. And we'll see where this turns. The 22-year-old Detroit man arrested in connection with Saturday's deadly shooting at Great Lakes Crossing Mall has been released from jail. No charges have been filed yet. Auburn Hills police say the shooter, a licensed concealed pistol holder, is cooperating with the investigation. According to investigators, the incident began with an altercation inside a food court restroom. Police say 2 men later confronted and attacked the shooter in the food court, sparking a fight that led to gunfire. A 20-year-old Pontiac man was killed. 19-year-old bystander was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Meanwhile, Great Lakes Crossing has fully reopened, the operations returning to normal just 48 hours after the violence that took place there. Also, the future of University of Michigan athletic director Ward Manuel. Well, that could come into focus this week as the Board of Regents meets on Thursday. Multiple reports say the board may discuss a possible buyout of Manuel's contract while the university continues an internal review of the athletic department's culture. Manuel, however, told Yahoo Sports he has no plans to step down, saying he expects to remain athletic director. Manuel has led Michigan athletics since 2016, overseeing multiple national championships, but his tenure has included high-profile controversies, including the Connor Stallion sign-stealing scandal and the university's response to other investigations. A report on the department's culture could be released later this week.
Yeah, and that was something that we've been waiting for quite some time. It was ordered after the Sharon Moore incident. But this, from stuff that I'm reading, it sounds like there could be something in here. And that is what's causing these reports to show that, maybe Ward Manuel's job isn't safe. But a lot of these allegations are stemming from a lawsuit that was filed by a former linebackers coach, Chris Partridge. And certainly we're going to have to follow that because that could be a big report when it does become public. Meanwhile, coming up on the other side, we'll get the latest on Iran with Lucas Tomlinson. It's next on JR Morning.
The hot weather is here. Help keep your home cool this summer with new windows and doors. This month at Clarkston Window and Door. Get 37% off installed windows or doors, plus 0% financing for 15 months. Clarkston Window and Door. Book your free no-obligation consultation today at clarkstonwindow.com.
We sell, we install. That's right, we do it all. Clarkston Window and Door.
These days, it feels like everything costs more, and healthcare is no different. But what many people don't realize is that rising hospital costs, prescription prices, and more people needing care all affect what Michigan families pay. That's why Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan is ready to help by lowering drug costs, focusing on preventive care, and improving quality while reducing unnecessary costs. Because affordability matters to everyone, and progress is happening. Learn more about what Blue Cross is doing to help at mibluedaily.com/affordability.
Explore food security through stories, strategies, and solutions that empower communities and inspire action. Hear thought leaders from across the state on Food Secure Nation with Dr. Phil Knight and Jerry Brisson. Sunday nights at 9 on 760 WJR. Sponsored by Know Better, Do Better.
This is Mark Snethkamp of the Snethkamp Automotive family. We've served Michigan customers for over 100 years. We opened our first dealership in 1926. 4 generations later, Snethkamp is still the name to trust when buying your next new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. Visit us during the Make This the Summer Sales event, happening now at one of our 4 locations: Highland Park, Gaylord, Midland, or Redford.
Snethkamp, Metro Detroit's original. Snethkamp.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen Sundays at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. Sponsored by Must Construction Careers. Learn more at mustcareers.org.
It's Ryan Armani. Are you in pain right now? I'm talking about the severe and chronic kind that stops you from enjoying your life. I've been there too, and that's why I want to tell you about the amazing pain elimination treatment I use only at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute. It's FDA cleared and 100% safe. The highest dose, highest intensity lasers in Michigan. The best part, there's no injections, pain meds, downtime, side effects, or surgery. Great for people suffering from arthritis, sciatica, neuropathy, or other ailments. Laser treatments get rid of the pain, they reduce inflammation, and regenerate tissues by targeting the root cause of the pain. It's located in Farmington and Clinton Township. You can call 248-326-2030. That's 248-326-2030. Mention my name this month, and you're going to get 50% off your treatment plan. The Nerve and Disc Laser Institute. Call now.
Scrolling with Haley. Join Haley Caronia as she scrolls through the biggest headlines.
If you haven't watched this show before, we do blind reactions. I have not seen these videos, so I am seeing them for the first time with all of you. We're going to implement the tinfoil hat time segments and all the stuff you know and love. And I'm going to finish the show and answer some of your questions. Someone asked me what made you get into podcasting, and I was producing podcasts for other people. Then I was like, I could do this for myself, and here I am.
Scrolling with Haley. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
WJR traffic and weather first.
Trouble sleeping lately? Upgrade to the great sleep you deserve at Mattress Firm's July 4th sale. Choose from a curated selection of top brands and let their sleep experts help you narrow it down. They make sleep easy. This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
No crashes on the roads. Westbound 94 between North River and Metro Parkway. Left lane is closed there till 9 o'clock on Friday. 14-mile close in both directions between Franklin and Telegraph until Friday as well. Northbound 275 between Sibley and Eureka. Right lane closed till Friday. And there's construction taking up the left lane of the exit ramp of northbound 75 to the Telegraph connector through Saturday. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Footloose at thumbcoasttheaters.com. Experience live theater at Thumbcoast Theaters in St. Clair. Don't miss the hit musical Footloose, packed with explosive dancing, iconic songs, and a story about breaking the rules and finding your voice. Get your tickets at thumbcoasttheaters.com. That's thumbcoasttheaters.com. Here's your forecast.
Some dangerous heat continuing to spill in. Today, tomorrow, the hottest days where we're going to peak near or just above 100 degrees today. A shot at the record of 104. Going to go 100 just above with a heat index over 104. That'll be 105 plus. So that combines the heat and humidity. A few clouds and sunshine. Other than that, it's going to be dry. Tonight, mid-70s. Tomorrow, near 100 again. The heat index close to 105. Thursday, sunny and hot, mid-90s. Friday, sunshine, 90. from the Weather Channel. I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
I'm Kevin Dietz. Coming up on All Talk. I'm taking a little time off for my summer vacation, but we have some incredible guests lined up for you to bring you the big stories that everyone's talking about. Attorney, political analyst, and host of the Crisis Files podcast, Roshini Rajkumar, will get us started. It's going to be a lot of fun. All Talk is 9 to noon. You can stream us anytime at WJR.com.
So the blockade going back into place and even a 20% fee to cover the cost of protection.
Yes.
The president says will also be put in place. But this only is applying for Iranian vessels. He says anybody else that wants to get through that doesn't have ties to Iran can get through. Let's get the latest. Where in the world is Lucas Tomlinson? We ask that every time we talk to him. And turns out he's in Tel Aviv. Good morning, Lucas.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me back. Greetings and good morning from Tel Aviv.
So the president says the blockade's going back in place. Sounds like it's going to be later this afternoon. What does that signal towards where we're at in this conflict?
Well, it means the ceasefire and the memorandum of understanding signed with Iran is effectively over. And we're back to where we were about a month ago, in addition to the blockade coming back as ordered from President Trump at 4 p.m. Eastern today. There's been 5 nights of airstrikes against Iran over the past week, 3 consecutive. If you remember when President Trump attended the NATO summit in Ankara, Turkey, where yours truly was reporting, it felt like Iran was trying to disrupt that summit by returning to attacks, attacking commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. And just yesterday, Iran launched more attacks, this time hitting a pair of Emirati tankers with cruise missiles, killing 1 sailor and wounding 8. So I just heard the weather report in Detroit. Sounds like it's pretty steamy, over 100. Well, the temperature's turning up here in the Middle East, although I will say here in Israel, it is relatively very quiet. There's not been a rocket incursion until since early this month.
Lucas, the president has formally notified Congress that fighting with Iran has resumed, but lawmakers, they argue he needs to come to Congress and get that congressional approval to continue these military actions. How serious is that constitutional showdown over war power is going to be?
Well, the White House would say that they are fulfilling their constitutional duties by notifying Congress about this resumption of military strikes. Again, 5 strikes against Iran over the past week, and those notifications were sent. War powers is a tricky one, though, because when you look at it's only been around since 1973, and when you look at the list of presidents and how many did all the notifications and followed the letter of the law, a lot of them have frankly skipped it.
Yeah.
Do you get the sense that this is, the president has talked a lot about, going the diplomatic route. Do you get the sense there's frustration that we're back here? I mean, he said he didn't want the United States to go into a depression, and he thought maybe that's where we were headed with the cost of oil being so high, right as that initial blockade was being lifted. It doesn't feel like this was the plan to be back here.
No, and it still seems that for both sides, it doesn't appear like both sides want a return to all-out war. That being said, the president, he said he wanted to bring down oil costs. You certainly have the midterm elections coming up. You have to look at this through a political lens, not just a military one. The problem is, after signing the memorandum of understanding with Iran and what many critics said were very generous terms for Iran. Remember, they could sell their oil. Sanctions were going to be lifted. In fact, during the 20-odd days that this memorandum was happening, Iran sold over $5 billion worth of goods. It's like the GDP of St. Lucia. Iran made some cash, and for people looking at this from a Western lens, they'd say, well, that sounds like a great deal. They're making billions of dollars. Why not keep going? Well, that's just not how Iran works. And frankly, the Trump administration is dealing with not 1, not 2, but 3 different governments inside Iran. And negotiations appear Very, very difficult, as we've seen, of course, in the past 4 months since this conflict began.
One of the biggest headlines, I think, is the U.S., using these sea drones in combat for the first time. And, we watched Ukraine and, use those naval drones, really effectively against Russia. Are we seeing the U.S. kind of borrow some lessons from that battle?
There's no question. This is something that Admiral Brad Cooper, the CENTCOM commander, pushed when he was in charge of Fifth Fleet, all naval forces in the Middle East. You're right. We've seen those drones effectively destroy the Russian fleet in the Black Sea. What makes it difficult, not just that they're remote controlled, but, very small radar signature. These things are skimming the waves, probably don't even show up on radar. You don't have the big freeboard like you would see from a warship, and very devastating. We saw sea drones being used for the first time from the U.S. military in history just yesterday. U.S. Central Command putting out the video, and certainly there's no question the U.S. military taking a lot of lessons learned from the Ukrainians.
So as the military action kind of ramps up here, what are our allies in the region? What are those communications with the United States like? Are they on board with what's happening here?
Well, certainly with the Gulf states, and unlike the U.S. military, posting videos of F-18s, F-35 from Lincoln, launching off the deck of the aircraft carrier. Emiratis, others, they're a lot quieter when they go about their work. In fact, just as I called into you guys this morning, there were some explosions reported in Bandar Abbas, Iran's largest naval base. And typically the U.S. military does most of their work at night, as you guys know. And by the way, President Trump in the Oval Office said, in addition to all the strikes I just mentioned, he says more are coming tonight. And we heard his interview with Hugh Hewitt, where he talked about Pickaxe Mountain, which has long been a suspected nuclear site around the Natanz region between Tehran and Isfahan. That is perhaps on the target list. And President Trump, I believe he said something along the lines of he's going to give him a big fat shot.
That could be it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting as always, Lucas Tomlinson. We appreciate your time. Thank you. Stay safe over there, and we'll talk again soon.
Appreciate it, fellas. No promise.
All right, Luke.
You got it.
See ya.
Again, we wanted a different outcome, and then things. This is what we'd been talking about for a long time, which was this is Iran's MO.
Mm-hmm.
Is behind closed doors. They're like, yeah, of course. Let's get to a deal.
Yep.
Nobody wants this, right, guys? We don't want to do this anymore. Let's stop. And then publicly they sell a different story to their people.
Yes, because everything is shut down. People they can't get information. They only can get what they are told.
I mean, and then of course the United States is the boogeyman.
Of course,
okay,
yeah.
you're paying us that way. That's fine. That's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But then all of a sudden you're weeks and weeks down the road with no real developments, no real momentum in the right direction. And then next thing you know, we're sending sea drones into ports and we're attacking missile sites and silos and things like that. And now we're back at it.
And does Iran really, who are we talking to? I mean, we're negotiating with one set of people, but we have another set up there who are doing what they want to do, So are we talking to the right people? They're not communicating together.
This is why why people say this is like a regime change proof country because of their structure. Coming up on the other side, Lindsey Graham died from a tear in his aorta. What is an aortic dissection? We'll talk about that on the other side. Share morning.
Hey there, JR listeners. Chris Alberta from Principium. Look, I have an urgent message for you today about your retirement. I don't care if you already retired, you're a few months away, or you're a few years away. You're going to be unemployed soon. And you probably don't have a pension because you are your pension. Recent all-time highs in the market. Look, you're at the top of the mountain. And now we're in an Iranian conflict. AI might replace your job. And like it or not, you could be retired as long as you were working. But despite all that, is the best time I have ever seen in my career to build you a retirement plan. The fixed rates are unbelievably good. Income models are killing it. You combine that with top-notch market management and you're going to win. If you wait, you will lose. These rates will go down. You remember the 4% rule? My clients are using the 7% rule. They'll always have a paycheck, and that's freedom. Don't wait. Call me now, 888-800-8949. Call me, Chris Alberta, 888-800-8949.
Connect direct with the WJR app.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. The U.S. and Iran trading strikes for a third straight day after President Trump said he would restart a blockade of Iranian ports and take control of the Strait of Hormuz.
We're putting the blockade back, and it's a blockade not for anybody but Iran. In other words, anybody doing business with Iran can't go through. Everyone else will be able to go through.
Trump also suggested the U.S. will charge ships for passage, what the administration has demanded Iran not do.
It's Fox's Alex Hogan. South Carolina gets a new senator with a familiar name, Darlene Graham Nordone, officially assuming her late brother's seat.
I think this is what Lindsay would have wanted, and I plan to honor him.
Her stay in the Senate will be temporary as South Carolina plans for a special election next month to choose a Republican nominee for the general election in November. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by RockAuto.com.
Oof, shocking time to lose a whole strut.
Ugh, comedy is not your thing, but I do know that Rock Auto has what I need to fix it.
With parts shipped right to your door. No kidding.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
Southbound 75 at South Huron River Road, we have an accident. Westbound 94 between North River Road and Metro Parkway. Left lane closed for construction till 9 p.m. on Friday. Traffic slow from 21 Mile. 14 Mile closed in both directions between Franklin and Telegraph till Friday as well. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by NECA IBEW Local 58. Count on the Powering Michigan team of IBEW 58 skilled electricians and NECA signatory contractors for your next commercial, industrial, public, or residential construction project. The best electricians, the best electrical contractors, period. Learn more at poweringmichigansfuture.com. We're under an extreme heat warning from noon until 8 today. Lots of sunshine, very hot. High of 100. The heat index will make it feel like 107. Right now it's 71. Clear skies tonight with a low of 75. A mix of clouds and sunshine for tomorrow with a high of 96. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This summer, cool down the Michigan way with Guernsey Farms Dairy. Their legendary ice cream is made right here in Michigan, and nothing beats their refreshing lemonade, which we know is the official lemonade of Mackinac Island. Whether you're hitting the lake, hosting a backyard barbecue, or just soaking up the sunshine, Guernsey's got your summer cravings covered. They have been the staple in Michigan fridges for over 80 years, and I choose to have the ice cream, the lemonade in our house. When John McGuire started Guernsey Farms Dairy, he had a vision, and now it's continued with the family's third generation. John wanted to create a legacy for his family and the community, and the McGuire family is proud to continue that work today. Guernsey now delivers over 70,000 gallons of milk a week because of their great team and its partnership with one of Michigan's oldest family-owned fourth-generation dairy processors, Walnutdale Farms in Wayland, Michigan. Remember, when looking for Guernsey's award-winning milk, ice cream, and lemonade, make sure to visit your local grocer or stop by their store and restaurant in Northville for an experience like no other.
After avoiding debates for months, John James just made it clear why. When questioned by Perry Johnson about his support for the reviled kill switch mandate and being funded by data center developers, John James strangely replied,
I know when you were born, black people could still be bought and sold in this country, but no one owns me.
Huh? John James went right to the Democrat strategy of playing the race card. John James is no conservative. He's a lying liberal. John James as governor? Terrifying thought. Perry Johnson is our conservative choice. Non-politician, real Republican, really smart. Helps save the American automobile industry and can apply the same skills to get Michigan back on track. Perry Johnson from Michigan.
I'm Perry Johnson.
and I approve this message. Paid for by Perry Johnson for Governor.
Of all the wireless companies in America, only one has 5 stars in every category from Consumer Reports, and that company is Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. Plus, no service contracts and no cancellation fees. Just phenomenal U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Stay here for All Talk with Kevin Dietz at 9. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
So Lindsey Graham dies at 71 years old, and according to at least the preliminary medical report, was that there was a tear in his aorta.
Yeah.
An aortic dissection. What is that?
I don't know.
It sounds incredibly severe.
It does.
And it ultimately took Lindsey Graham's life. How do you even detect something like this? Something that we hope Dr. Alessandro Vivacqua, the director of the Aortic Center at Corewell Health, William Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak, can help dumb down for us, because it sounds very serious and very complicated. Doc, good morning. It's good to have you.
Good morning, and thank you for having me in your show.
So tell us a little bit about what an aortic dissection is, and obviously the ramifications of having something like that.
Yeah. So an aortic dissection, as the word says, is a disease of the aorta. The aorta is the biggest artery that we have and brings the blood from the heart to all the body. And what happened, the wall of the aorta has 3 layers. And so a dissection is actually a tear in the inner layer of the wall. And now the blood penetrates into the wall and dissects, means separates the layers of the aortic wall. And this causes 2 bad things. One is that the wall is now weaker and can rupture. And the other one is that this separation of layers causes what we call a flap. And this flap can obstruct or significantly decrease the blood flow to pretty much all your body. And so this becomes a medical emergency, because those situations, they are really life-threatening.
Doctor, well, to me, one of the most shocking things is that someone can appear perfectly healthy and then just suddenly collapse. How can this happen with so little warning?
Yes, correct. That's the main issue. And that also is the reason why many of those diseases are underdiagnosed, because there are no warning signs. So most of the patients, they already have what is called an aneurysm of the aorta, which is silent, doesn't give any symptoms. And so pretty much you don't have anything until 30 seconds before this happens, and it's very catastrophic.
How common is this in younger people? How common is it for older folks to come down with one of these tears in their aorta?
Yeah, so it's pretty estimated that there are about 13,000 cases in America for aortic dissection every year. And there is a number of those is calculated about 50% of people that they don't even make to the hospital, so they don't have a diagnosis, and it's just people that suddenly die. And it's most common usually in men with above 50, 60, 70 years old. And then there is another group of patients that accounts for about 20% of the cases. There are people that have genetic disease, so means they were born with this, and there are like people like they have Marfan syndrome, or they have what we call a bicuspid aortic valve. So the aortic valve is this valve that is between your heart and the aorta, and it opens when the heart squeezes the blood to go to all the body, and then when the heart fills, it closes so the blood doesn't go backwards. So this aorta has 3 flaps usually, but in about 2% of the patient has only 2, and we call bicuspid, and this is another risk factor. And so there is about those kind of genetic disease, they manifest earlier in life. So it's more common in younger patients, the 20, 30, or 40s. And then there is other small amount of dissection that can happen if some people use like cocaine, or they have a physical trauma like a car accident or a significant fall. So mainly older people, male, but in a small population can be much younger.
Doctor, if someone, let's just say someone has a close relative who's had an aortic dissection, should they be screened even if they feel perfectly healthy?
Absolutely. It's very important to know if there is what we call a family history, because we know that those dissection and aneurysms, which is the precondition usually of dissection, they run into families. So it's very important that you get screened. We have the availability to do some genetic testing to see if there is a genes that cause this that runs into family. And then it's very important to get screened, to talk with a doctor, get at least an echocardiogram or a CAT scan to see if you have any of this enlargement of the aorta that we call aneurysm. And if this is the case, it's very important that this is follow up very closely, because we can look if there is any change in size, then we have to intervene early to avoid a dissection or a rupture happens.
Dr. Alessandro Vivacqua, thank you for your time and insight on this. Certainly important for people to know. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's something, the scary part, like once again, the scary part is that someone can, feel great, and then the next moment they don't.
Right.
I mean, and according to a lot of witnesses, he said, Lindsey Graham said he didn't feel well, and people told him, hey, you need to go to the doctor and get that checked out. He says, okay, well, I'll do it after my hit tomorrow on, Meet the Press.
Yeah.
And it didn't get to that.
That's scary. Yeah. Have you seen this video of this buffalo? This bison?
I did.
Okay. Walk us through exactly what happened here.
So the bison basically saw this grandfather and his grandson, or son, or father and son, and came at them and came after the father and ran up behind him and flipped him up in the air. It looks like about 10 feet. He came down. He severely, I think he fractured his femur in several places, and he lies still. And I think that kind of saved his life. I mean, I think he lied still because he was knocked out, and the bison didn't continue, because usually bisons, but it was a zoo director who was on TV yesterday, and he said basically what the problem is, this is the time of year where bison are looking for, male bison are looking for females, and their hormones are just going crazy. And they're just like, their mind is just gone, and anything will set them off, because they want to fight, because they've been fighting, because they're trying to get to this
fighting over females.
Yeah. And so, and the person who took the actual film of this happening said he saw the bison before this happened rolling around in the dust.
There's video of that.
Just going nuts. And they think that it was a truck that went past, the bison. They think, because the bison was laying down, they think the truck blew the horn in the truck, and
that was fight mode.
It was like, you're challenging me.
Yeah, this was happening at Yellowstone National Park, and Carl Isom McDaniel was the man visiting when he got attacked. Sounds like he's going to be all right.
No, he's going to be okay.
But a little worse for wear.
Yeah, and he's still here. Thank the Lord.
Scary stuff. Meanwhile, engineers are using thermal advances and AI to extend car life. What does that mean for those who fix our cars? It's coming up on JR Morning.
While no one knows what tomorrow may bring, Bridgestone is working toward a more positive outlook, with innovations like developing a tire using 75% recycled and renewable materials. It's just one of the many ways Bridgestone is making a difference today for generations to come. Because that's what really matters. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Visit whatreallymatters.com to learn more.
For more than 35 years, MetroCars has set the standard for professional transportation across Michigan and beyond. MetroCars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. Executives and business travelers trust MetroCars for dependable airport transportation and seamless corporate travel. From early morning departures to late night arrivals, their professional chauffeurs ensure every ride is punctual, comfortable, and stress-free. Choose MetroCars. MetroCars.com.
Hey, it's Ryan Armani. I want to get real with you for a minute about a 4-letter word we can all relate to: pain. If you're in severe or chronic pain right now due to arthritis, sciatica, neuropathy, or honestly, just about any other ailment, you need to check out an amazing pain elimination laser treatment at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute, located in Farmington and Clinton Township. It's FDA cleared, totally safe, and their lasers are the highest dose, highest intensity lasers in Michigan. These laser treatments get rid of the pain. They reduce inflammation and regenerate tissue by targeting the root cause of the pain. And the best part, your pain goes away without drugs, injections, side effects, downtime, or everyone's biggest fear, surgery. So grab your phone and call 248-326-2030. That's 248-326-2030. Mention my name this month. You're going to get half off your treatment plan, 50% off your treatment plan. That's huge. The Nerve and Disc Laser Institute, 248-326-2030. Call now.
Hey there, WJR listeners. Chris Alberta here at Principium. Listen, your bucket of money, that precious little gem that's taken you a lifetime to accumulate, has been growing. And if you're anything like all of my clients, you were worried that it might not be enough to supplement your retirement, especially if the markets have a downturn. All these incredible investment and insurance tools these days, they've been designed to address specific problems and concerns. But most folks I see every week, they have the wrong stuff. You know why? Because no one's taking the time to actually invest in them and diagnose the actual problem, the actual concern. Yeah, look, my process, it's laborious, but it's worth it. The results and the peace of mind are a byproduct of us learning together. If you're retired or nearing retirement, it's time for you to dig in with me. We can increase the reward and we can decrease the risk. It's a win-win. So stop going to steak dinners, free steak dinners offered by financial salespeople. Invest in yourself with me at my office on your timetable with zero pressure. Call me today, Chris Alberta at Principium, 1-888-800-8949.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
Progressive presents Heroes That Keep Truckers Going. Today's hero, all the furry four-legged co-pilots out there. Pets like Axel, Bandit, and Smokey, who may not understand humans but do listen to you rant about young people today for hours. Thanks, heroes. Know what else keeps safe truckers going? Saving an average of $6,181 when they elect to share their ELD data with us. Get a quote at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. 2025 National Average Safe Driver Enrollment Discount Savings for new Progressive customers. Excludes mandatory program participants. Not available in all states. Driving data could increase or decrease premiums at renewal.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by RockAuto.com.
Oh, that grinding and squealing. What are you going to do about that?
Time for new brakes. The chain store never has what I need.
No worries. Go to rockauto.com for name brands at lower prices.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
Southbound 75 between Huron River Drive and South Huron River Road. We have an accident. Telegraph northbound after Plymouth, a crash there. Westbound 94 slow between the Southfield Freeway and E-Course. And westbound 94 between North River Road and Metro Parkway. Left lane closed for construction till 9 o'clock Friday. Traffic slow from 21 Mile. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Big ridge of high pressure now continuing to dominate, and it's going to get hotter than yesterday's 90. How about 100, maybe a degree or two above. Now we've got to get to 104 to get to the record. That was set way back in 1936. Now it might feel like 104 or hotter with the heat index, unless we've got a heat advisory this afternoon through tonight. Tonight, mainly clear, 75. Suburbs might dip into the 60s. Wednesday, sunny and hot again near 100. Heat index 105. Mid-90s Thursday and sunny. Friday, sunshine near 90. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Sponsored by Femininio Law. GetDavidGetPaid.com. Traffic and weather is sponsored by Femininio Law. Get David, get paid.
Only Femininio Law has the accident response team, crisis counselors, medical experts, forensic specialists who lock down the evidence before it disappears. When you're hurt, you need action. Call 855-65-CRASH or visit GetDavidGetPaid.com.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit Autolaw.com. That's Autolaw.com.
Well, despite years of signals or predictions that we were headed towards a mass adoption of electric vehicles, what we're seeing is automakers and suppliers still very much heavily investing in ICE technology and blending in some new age technology and well. And all of this is in an effort to help extend your car's life, whether that's through artificial intelligence or different thermal advances. It's very fascinating. It's the topic for mobility makers this morning. And Richard Truitt, the engineering and technology reporter at the Automotive News, joins us to break it down. Richard, good morning. It's good to have you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So let's talk a little bit about what exactly is going on here, because there has been a bit of a shift away from electric vehicles, not totally, but from the big three, for example. They've pulled back the reins. And so that means they still are producing, highly sought after vehicles that have internal combustion engines. How are they mixing in some of the new technology with the old?
Well, I tell you, you would think that after about 135 years or so that there wouldn't be very much they could do to the traditional gasoline engine, but that's completely wrong, because not only are Stellantis and Ford and GM and others making the engine more efficient, but the supplier community is really stepping up with some really cool technology. The big focus is on what they call thermal efficiency. About a third of the energy in gasoline is actually used to turn the wheels of the car. The rest is wasted out the exhaust pipe and lost in friction inside the engine. And suppliers and automakers are working to capture more of that energy. So I think that's where the big focus is.
Richard, when we hear that engineers are using AI to make, these engines more durable, what does that actually mean? I mean, is AI designing better engines?
Well, it can help engineers design better engines, but it's also, and this might be the most important thing, it's also teaching engineers how to test engines in different ways. And I think that the testing of engines is really important, because how they perform under duress at different temperatures with different fuels, all these learnings can come together in ways that would have taken maybe years before, can happen really quickly now.
Which one do you think the automakers and suppliers are signaling could be the biggest change, the most impactful change for them?
Well, I tell you what, we in Detroit, we do a lot of griping about the Chinese auto industry, but let's just step back a second and take a look at one thing. Yes, the Chinese auto industry has a lot of government help, whether we like that or not, they do. But on the other hand, these are smart, motivated people and really good engineers, and they should be, because guess what? We taught them what they know. Jeep was one of the first automakers in China in the 1980s, and they went to school on the best engineers in the world, ours. They are doing some really cool stuff. Now, there's a company over there called Geely, which owns Volvo and Polestar and Lotus and some other automakers, and they have created a gasoline engine that is about 50% thermally efficient. The average engine today is maybe in the 30s. We're seeing Stellantis do some really cool stuff. They have an engine out now called the Hurricane 4, which is in the Jeep Grand Cherokee. that uses Formula One racing technology and makes the 4-cylinder engine makes 324 horsepower. Think about that. The Hemi engine, when it came out a few years ago, made roughly that same amount of engine. That was a V8. Now we're getting that kind of power out of a 4-cylinder.
Richard, just for the average driver who's planning to keep a vehicle, let's say 10, 15 years, could these engineering advances kind of translate into fewer repairs and lower maintenance costs?
Well, I wish that were the case, but you really picked on a sensitive topic, because yes, technology is advancing, but is reliability advancing along with it? And I have to say at this point, no, it's not. And it might not have to do with technology, but more to do with automakers using parts that might get them through the warranty period, but not much past that. And I'm talking about plastic engine parts in cooling systems and things like that, timing chains. No, I think the automakers could do a lot better job of building engines that are more durable.
Really interesting.
Really.
Fascinating to see what these companies are doing now. We appreciate your time, Richard Truitt. Thank you. We'll talk soon.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, great piece in the Automotive News.
Wow. I tell you, man, technology is something. But, I look down the road, man, one day, and, these AI, AI could tell you when a part's going to maybe fail or something before it fails.
When it's weakening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something else. I mean, I think most people are keeping their cars as long as they can now. And now probably more than ever.
Yes.
Because the cost of cars are more expensive now than they ever have been.
Yes.
And so, trying to keep up with the maintenance. I mean, Brian will tell you after all this time on the car show, right? It's like, just do your regular maintenance and the rest of your car will hold up. The longevity will be there. Correct? Or am I crazy?
No, you're correct.
Brian, I didn't think Brian wanted to talk to us this morning. I was offended.
Shut my microphone off. I'm taking that as personally. No, we've had people on the car show that have over 1 million miles on their car, and it's just from doing maintenance.
It's just from
change the oil, check the tires, make sure all the fluids are good, check your battery.
And
it's all basic, simple stuff.
Now
it's all stuff everybody hates to do.
Of course.
You
wait to the last minute, like some people that I won't discuss.
Yep.
That's why you pay somebody to do it.
I thought this was a safe space.
Everybody's coming at him. Everybody's coming.
But no, I think that's the thing here is, how do you keep your vehicle longer?
Yeah.
Right.
What do you have to do to keep this thing going as long as possible?
We're also finding out that more people are repairing their own cars to save that money too.
Kind of like what you do for yourself.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah,
like I don't need that like lettuce anymore.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, self-care.
No, right.
Self-care. Self-care is not eating lettuce in 2026. 7 o'clock hour coming up. It's JR Morning.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
This summer, cool down the Michigan way with Guernsey Farms Dairy. Their legendary ice cream is made right here in Michigan, and nothing beats their refreshing lemonade, which we know is the official lemonade of Mackinac Island. Whether you're hitting the lake, hosting a backyard barbecue, or just soaking up the sunshine, Guernsey's got your summer cravings covered. They have been the staple in Michigan fridges for over 80 years, and I choose to have the ice cream, the lemonade in our house. When John McGuire started Guernsey Farms Dairy, he had a vision, and now it's continued with the family's third generation. John wanted to create a legacy for his family and the community, and the McGuire family is proud to continue that work today. Guernsey now delivers over 70,000 gallons of milk a week because of their great team and its partnership with one of Michigan's oldest family-owned fourth-generation dairy processors, Walnutdale Farms in Wayland, Michigan. Remember, when looking for Guernsey's award-winning milk, ice cream, and lemonade, make sure to visit your local grocer or stop by their store and restaurant in Northville for an experience like no other.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
The U.S. and Iran keep going on the attack. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We're taking out all of their capability for anything having to do with the Strait, with the Hormuz Strait.
Well, the third straight day of American strikes.
The United States Military Central Command says targets included Iranian coastal surveillance sites plus drone and missile systems. President Trump says he's reinstating a blockade of Iranian ports, and he appears to be overturning years of American policy on freedom of navigation, announcing a 20% tax on all ships using the waterway.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Iran's foreign minister responded, saying his country's the guardian of the strait as Iran keeps up the attacks.
The United Arab Emirates reported that two ships were hit overnight. And just a few hours ago, the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Association reported that another ship was hit just off the coast of Lima, Oman. This was a ship following the southern route through the strait established by Oman in defiance of the Iranian route to the north. Yesterday, a Cyprus flag container ship was hit.
Fox's Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv. Oil prices keep rising back up more than 3%. WTI almost $81 a barrel. In Maine, there are anti-ICE protests over another deadly shooting.
Immigration rights groups are identifying the man as a father and Colombian native who was here on a work visa. DHS says yesterday morning agents were monitoring an address of someone who was ordered to be removed from the country. Later, an illegal migrant left the home in a car, but when they tried to stop the car, the agency says, quote, the vehicle attempted to flee the scene and fearing for public safety, an officer discharged his weapon.
Fox's Nate Foy. Maine Senator Angus King says the driver killed was not the immigrant targeted for removal. Lindsey Graham's sister Darlene will be sworn in as a senator today after South Carolina's governor appointed her to replace her Republican brother who died suddenly Saturday.
Lindsey has always been there for me, and now I will be there for him.
America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Southbound 75 before South Huron River Road, an accident taking up the two right lanes has traffic stop and go from Huron River Drive. Telegraph northbound after Plymouth, still have a crash there. Westbound 94 slow between the Southfield Freeway and Ecorse. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. We're under an extreme heat warning from noon until 8. Lots of sunshine, very hot today, a high of 100 with a heat index of 107. Right now, it's 72. Clear skies tonight and a low of 75. A mix of clouds and sunshine tomorrow, hot again, high 96. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Most people never collect a dollar of the money they're owed in a car accident. We're going to change that. If you were in a car accident that wasn't your fault, Michigan law says you may be owed up to $3,000. But that right doesn't last forever. One form online, we do the rest. Completely free. It's your money. We'll go get it.
Visit 3kforfree.com. Up to $3,000, zero fees. Only at Michigan Auto Law Auto Accident Attorneys. People over everything.
Do you receive SNAP food assistance? When it's time to update your information, it's important to keep your information fresh and report any changes to your income, employment, family situation, or address. Life changes. Make sure your benefits keep up. Together, we can help keep food on the table. Learn more at michigan.gov/food assistance. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Hennion & Walsh was made for people like you, people who understand the value of experienced, highly skilled professionals. That's why you'll have access to a team of specialists to help you invest for the life you want. Why? You've earned it. We're Hennion & Walsh and a team built around you. Get a second opinion. Call 800-279-5279 or find us online. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henning & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henning & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
It's not just morning, it's a JR morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and on the WJR app, where Michigan comes to talk.
All right, 7 o'clock hour, going to be a hot and spicy one today. It's going to feel like it's over 100 degrees.
It will.
It is. I'll tell you, when it gets that hot, it's just hard to leave your house. It's hard to leave the office. If you want to go get lunch in the afternoon, it's tough.
Because even if you are out when it's hot like that and you're like under a tree, under shade, and you get a breeze, the breeze is hot. It's muggy.
Oh, yeah. No, it's stuffy and wet.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like,
Do you guys have automatic starts on your car?
I do.
Do you do that in the summer? Will you start your, if you run into the grocery store and on your way out, will you start your car?
I haven't. My wife does now.
I do it all the time.
My wife, I do it more in the wintertime.
Well, yeah, for sure in the winter. But in the summer?
I don't. I
It's
probably
a hack.
should.
It's a hack you will enjoy.
Because when you step in the car after your car's been sitting out there, it's pretty warm. Yeah.
Not if I just run in the grocery store. The car doesn't, but if my car's been outside for 4 or 5 hours in the sun and I'm going somewhere, yeah, I'll start it up to let it cool off. But just running in and out of the grocery stores, I feel like I've had.
I mean, if you're in there for 2 minutes,
yeah,
sure.
Well, that's how long do you stay in a grocery store? What are you doing in there?
Sticking my head in the freezer.
Yeah, I know that's right.
True.
Oh, I forgot. I got to go on with the rest of my day.
Jason brings a beach chair and he sets it up in the
You
ice
remember that
cream aisle.
Married with Children episode where they did that? Their air conditioner broke and they went to the grocery store and they were living in the grocery store.
With the fans.
Kroger shoppers, there's a man without his shirt in the freezer section. Please
I
keep
won't do
children
that to
away
anybody.
from
I'll
there.
keep my shirt on. Do you guys?
He'll keep his shirt on, Brian.
Do you guys have
everything else is totally fine?
There you go.
Do you guys have one of those cell phone holders on your dashboard?
I don't.
I do not.
So every time, I park in the garage at home. So like I was out over the weekend, and whenever the car parks in the hot sun, your cell phone holder just falls.
Yes.
And you're like, you get in the car, man down. But it always amazes me. You get in the car, you put it back, and you just re-stick it, and that thing sticks again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But it is going to be hot today. So don't take your dog places. Leave your dog at home where it's nice and cool.
That's right. Don't leave your kid in the car.
Don't leave your kids in the car.
For 2 seconds because you're just going to run into the store.
Or like Brian, he just runs in for 2 seconds. The car doesn't get hot immediately.
Don't do that.
Yeah. I'm not here for enjoyment. I'm mission oriented.
I know that's right.
Are you just
that's
picking,
me too.
You're picking
That's
up
me too.
one thing?
That's me too.
One
I know
thing,
what
if
I
it's
want.
4 things. I know where they at. I hit
go
them
get
and
'em,
I'm out.
And I'm out. That's me.
Hit it and get it.
Wow.
That's it.
I'm never in the, I mean, very rarely. I mean, I guess if you got to get one thing, I'll run in and be like, oh, we need bananas. I'll go in and grab bananas and get out of there.
Yeah.
But like milk, lunch meat, bread.
Yeah.
If you know where all of it is, you boom, 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 boom.
And out.
Yeah.
Well, we have with the kids, it's like bigger orders.
Oh, well, of course. Yeah.
So
I don't
it's
have,
like,
I don't have 2 hungry boys at home.
I
Yeah.
cannot.
Exactly.
We can't take them to the grocery store.
Absolutely not.
Or we'll be there for hours.
Oh, God, no.
They'll be picking stuff off.
Avoid the candy aisle.
Dad, can I have goldfish? Dad, can we get chips?
Oh,
Dad, can we
yeah.
get candy? No. No, you can't have any of it.
Well, I don't go to the market if I'm hungry.
Yeah, I do.
Because I'll just start picking up stuff. It's
Yep.
like, dude, you don't, but you're just
True.
hungry. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't, you know what I mean?
You're like, everything sounds good.
Exactly. So
I've come home many times and forgot to have a little something to eat before you went to the grocery store. What do you mean? There's like a lot of little Debbie cakes in there.
The worst is going through the deli section when you are hungry.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They got like all that and the rotisserie chickens and all that. Oh.
But if you go through like a Costco or Sam's where they have the little samples, you can probably fill up.
I've seen it.
Sir, you've been here for 15 minutes. We're going to have to ask you to leave.
I've seen people like hit one and then all like 10 minutes later come across them again and they're back at it.
Back at it. Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
picturing Lloyd with little toothpicks between all of his fingers walking
There you
through
go.
Costco.
He's like Wolverine.
Yeah.
Just wear my Charlie Chaplin glasses and mustache.
Exactly.
Listen, man.
Jason's got a change of clothes.
I come out, I fill up, man. I feel good, man. I'm a nice and full when I come out of those stores.
One thing maybe that you shouldn't buy at the grocery store right now is lettuce.
Michigan health officials say lettuce and salad greens now the leading suspected source of the state's growing cyclosporiasis outbreak. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services says more than 2,600 cases statewide here in Michigan, far above the normal 40 to 50 cases that Michigan typically sees in an entire year. Investigators have not identified a specific grower or supplier, but officials are urging consumers to buy whole heads of lettuce instead of the bagged salad mixes and discard the outer leaves of the whole head of lettuce. Wash those remaining leaves thoroughly and cook greens whenever possible. That will kill the parasite. Now, health officials say contaminated produce remains the focus of the investigation, while recreational swimming is not believed to be a source of the outbreak. A lot of people thought maybe, you get a little swim water in your mouth, you could get it too, but I guess they say no, that's not part of it.
Just the lettuce at the moment. Well,
right.
They're saying that they're not excluding anything else.
Exactly.
But this is what's happened in the past. Lettuce has been the culprit.
And it's like in 33 states, but we have the most cases in Michigan, and we had 44 people in the hospital because of it.
Well, and our cases almost doubled from Friday to Monday.
Right.
Thanks to me.
So it was, it's 2640 was 2639, and then you added the one, so now it's 2640.
I'll tell you, that's a heck of a thing. Meanwhile, Donald Trump.
It's a blockade not for anybody but Iran. In other words, anybody doing business with Iran can't go through. Everyone else will be able to go through. So it's a blockade. It's a very strong blockade.
President says the blockade is coming back in Iran as they continue to hit them militarily. And the president argued that the United States should be compensated from securing this shipping lane, proposing a 20% cargo fee. The administration has not talked about how that would work, if it's actually going to be put into place. There's been no Venmo account set up to collect from these cargo ships. So I don't know how that's exactly going to work, if it's going to work.
But didn't they say Iran couldn't do it because this is international waters and Iran can't do it?
Hey, you don't have the ability to do that. I don't know why the U.S. has the ability to do that.
We're just kind of seeing things changing in real time.
We're security now in the Strait.
That's what it looks like.
I mean,
we're the police.
Well, that's okay, but that's fine. Except we can't cry about it when they talk about it.
Right.
I think we should be
do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, equally critical across the plane.
Yeah.
Coming up on the other side, several states are suing Paramount over this proposed merger with Warner Brothers. We'll tell you if Michigan's involved and what it means for your entertainment coming up next. But first at 7:12, time for WJR's Business Beat, brought to you by Shelving.com. We rack your world. Here's Jeff Sloan, the founder and CEO of Startup Nation, to spotlight the entrepreneurial tech and startup community here on WJR.
Good morning. There are certain tactics and strategies in business today that are just, fundamentally required. And one of those today, whether you're doing outreach to new customers or to your existing customers, is the use of personalization in all of your outbound communication. Customers simply expect it today, and without it, at the very least, you're leaving business on the table. And now we've got new data to support this, as evidenced by a new study from Target NXT titled Email Pulse 2026. Now, just to be clear, personalization in marketing is the practice of tailoring messages, offers, and experiences to individual customers based on their preferences, behaviors, and demographic data. That information you've been able to learn about them through your direct correspondence with them and experience with them interacting with your various platforms. Marketing personalization involves using customer data to create customized experiences that feel relevant to each individual customer. This can include personalized emails addressing them by name, for example, in the opening, product recommendations of relevancy and interest to them based on what you've learned about them previously, targeted advertisements, content suggestions that reflect a customer's past interactions and purchases. The goal is to make customers feel that the brand understands their needs and interests and markets directly to them accordingly. Data shows that the use, for example, of personalized emails are more likely to convert. 73% of customers prefer brands that tailor communications directly to them. Personalization also drives loyalty beyond initial purchases. Either way, whether a new customer or an existing customer, it simply helps you drive more business. Now, the average ROI on a dollar spend in personalization ranges from $39 to $45, according to the study, for every dollar spent. So wondering how you get started with personalization? Well, starting at the easiest level first, simply have all of your outbound correspondence go to your customers using their first name when you address them. There are many tools that can help you do just that on an automated basis. And at a fundamental level, start with that. Certainly you can go way beyond, but that's a starting point that's meaningful. Clement D., founder and CEO of Target Next, said this: buyers and customers are more selective today, so reaching an inbox simply isn't enough. The teams that focus on relevance, audience understanding, and quality over volume will continue to see the best possible results from their outreach to customers. I'm Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of StartupNation.com. And that's today's Business Beat on the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR.
More space faster than you thought possible. Shelving.com stocks wire shelving, boatless shelving, and Unirack pallet racking. Ready for same-day pickup or next-day business shipping. When your business needs storage now, we can deliver.
Shelving.com, we rack your world. If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's Ryan Armani. Are you in pain right now? I'm talking about the severe and chronic kind that stops you from enjoying your life. I've been there too, and that's why I want to tell you about the amazing pain elimination treatment I use only at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute. It's FDA cleared and 100% safe. The highest dose, highest intensity lasers in Michigan. The best part, there's no injections, pain meds, downtime, side effects, or surgery. Great for people suffering from arthritis, sciatica, neuropathy, or other ailments. Laser treatments get rid of the pain, they reduce inflammation, and regenerate tissues by targeting the root cause of the pain. It's located in Farmington and Clinton Township. You can call 248-326-2030. That's 248-326-2030. 2030. Mention my name this month, and you're going to get 50% off your treatment plan. The Nerve and Disc Laser Institute. Call now.
Hey, Jim Harper here. Like many of you, I got LASIK surgery back in the 80s, and recently I started having trouble seeing, and it turns out they never told us LASIK doesn't last forever. So now what? Glasses? I haven't worn glasses in years, and I'm as vain as the next person. But then I remembered Mariana and the staff at Direct Optical Optique and how great they were at finding cool frames that look good on me, because they are frame stylists. You can't get that on the web or a big box store, and nobody has a bigger selection of designer frames than Direct Optical Optique. And Mariana still knows everybody by name. She's still selling cool glasses, one pair at a time, with a very personal touch. So if you wear glasses now or are wearing them again, you got to go to Direct Optical Optique and let them treat you like a star. They're the only ones who can do that. 2 great locations, Haggerty Road north of Maple and West Bloomfield, and in Canton on Ford Road next to IKEA. OptiqueDetroit.com on the web.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
Still have that crash on Telegraph northbound after Plymouth Road, southbound 75 before South Huron River Road. That accident's clear. Traffic still pretty slow in that stretch. Westbound 94 between the Southfield Freeway and E-Course, we're seeing heavy travel. And westbound 94 between North River Road and Metro Parkway, construction's blocking that left lane till Friday at 9 p.m. Traffic slow from M59. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Lombardo Apartments. Searching for a luxury 2 or 3 bedroom townhome? Welcome to REF Shelby. Beautiful luxury townhomes designed for comfort, convenience, and style. Visit refshelby.com for more information on their specials, including up to 1 month free rent on a new lease. Here's your forecast.
Some dangerous heat continuing to come in. A record going to be tough today, but getting close. And the record at 104 in 1936 is an impressive record nonetheless. 100, maybe 101 today with sunshine around. It'll feel 105 plus, thus a heat advisory from the Weather Service. Tonight, clear, warm, 75. Outlying areas might be a little bit cooler. Wednesday, triple-digit heat possible. We'll go near 100 with sunshine. Heat index again at 105. Sunny 95 Thursday. Friday, we back it off a hair. Sunshine 90. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
I'm Kevin Dees. Coming up on All Talk. I'm taking a little time off for my summer vacation, but we have some incredible guests lined up for you to bring you the big stories that everyone's talking about. Attorney, political analyst, and host of the Crisis Files podcast, Roshini Rajkumar, will get us started. It's going to be a lot of fun. All Talk is 9 to noon. You can stream us anytime at WJR.com.
I tell you, there are still some good signs that people are out there doing good things. And when you're a kid, that's pretty unbelievable.
It is. It really is. This young lady, she just completed her freshman year at Cass Tech.
Okay.
And she is well known for earning top grades. But she says her greatest accomplishment is, the way she challenges assumptions, every day. She was born blind.
Born blind.
And she just completed her freshman year with a perfect 4.0 GPA, finishing first in a class of 712 students. And she's also a pianist, singer, volunteer, avid reader, baker, active member of Cass Tech's Crochet Club and vocal choir. And this fall, she plans to attend honors and advanced placement courses and an already demanding schedule while exploring track and poetry.
Wow. That's spectacular.
I mean.
And what have you done today?
Exactly. I just feel like I just done nothing today.
She's running circles around us.
She is,
thank God. Thank God for it.
And she is to me, such an example of what you can do. This girl has a disability. She is blind and she's doing all of this. And we have, young kids who have all of their faculties and, don't want to do what they need to do and, and don't do well because they're not applying themselves. There are smart kids out there. Sometimes they're just not applying themselves and they don't do well. Here's this one. She's not on TikTok every day.
No. Ain't nobody got time for TikTok.
No. She's playing, Bach.
Yeah.
On the piano.
No time for that. Absolutely spectacular. Good for her.
Yes.
Really, really cool story. Meanwhile, there is a coalition of 12 states and their attorneys general led by California that has filed a lawsuit seeking to block Paramount Skydance's proposed acquisition of Warner Brothers. The states argue the roughly $110 billion deal would violate antitrust laws by combining two major Hollywood studios and essentially forming a monopoly of major streaming platforms and television networks, a huge portfolio all under one umbrella. What would be the potential problem with this? Let's talk about it with Daniel Crane, the Richard W. Porg Professor of Law at the University of Michigan Law. And Professor, it's great to have you. What did you make of this particular lawsuit? Were you surprised by it?
Well, good morning. No, I wasn't surprised by it. There was already a consumer case filed back in May seeking to block this deal. And I think you can think about it at two levels. One, there's a political level, and secondly, there's a legal level. At the political level, the Trump Justice Department cleared this deal, but there was speculation about the influence of Larry Ellison, who's obviously close to Trump, and his son David Ellison, who runs Paramount, as to whether that played a role. And then the 12 attorneys general you mentioned are all from blue states, and so there's equally a question about whether politics is playing a role in either direction in terms of the decisions made by these different agencies. On the legal front, I think it's a pretty close call as to whether this merger does violate the antitrust laws. It's a style as a 5-4, the big five studios going down to 4 through this combination. If you talk to Paramount, they would say, no, it's not, it's a market with a lot more players than that. You look at big players that have come in recently, like Netflix, Amazon, and Apple, which are creating content on par with the content typically created by the big studios. So I think it's going to be a very interesting case in terms of who actually gets the better of the facts and the law.
If this case goes to trial, Daniel, what kinds of evidence will the court be looking at? I mean, is it market share or consumer prices, internal company documents, all of the above? I don't know.
All of the above, yeah.
Okay.
So what I expect will happen is there'll be a preliminary injunction hearing sometime in the next few months that may end up deciding the case, although given that we have I think $7 billion termination fee that Paramount have to pay to Warner, this is likely a case that'll go all the way, including to appeal. But yeah, exactly that kind of evidence. So antitrust law tends to be very technical at some level. We define relevant markets. We look at concentration numbers. We look at something called the Herfindahl-Hirschman Index, which gives you a snapshot of the concentration of the market before and after the mergers. But I think a lot will turn on sort of more qualitative facts, things like really where is the competition today? If you think about it from a historical perspective, you had the movie studios, back in the day, 7 or 8 of them, now down to 5. This deal would take them down to 4. That created most of the sort of premium movie content. Is that really true today still? You have, as I said before, a lot more smaller studios and titans like Amazon and Apple and Netflix that are at some level competing. So I think a lot just will depend on how the judge thinks about this market, not just historically, but as it is today.
Fascinating.
I know the attorneys general also argue that this merger could give, one company enormous influence over news and entertainment. Does antitrust law take into account cultural influence, or is it primarily just focused on prices and competition?
That's a wonderful question, because this has very much been in debate in the last few years. There's been a whole question about the relationship between economic concentration and democracy. So to what extent should a court or the antitrust agencies think about, as you said, cultural influence, or even influence on news and democracy as being something that plays out in an antitrust case? I think the technical answer is that doesn't really add a whole lot if you don't think that there is a concentration problem. And I'll just say, I think the concentration numbers here are very borderline. If you look at this tool I mentioned before, the Herfindahl-Hirschman Index, these numbers, in most cases, this kind of a merger would get through. So I think it would take some extra theory about how this is going to be really bad in order for the states to prevail.
Daniel Crane, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
My pleasure. Anytime.
Yeah, interesting.
It's always something with these mergers and with the rise in streaming and, because Warner Brothers and Paramount, they're just basically saying we're competing against much larger players, like he said, like Netflix and Amazon and Apple.
And the other part of this, too, is the media landscape is changing.
Yes.
Right? People are not consuming their content the way they did even 10 years ago.
No.
It's completely different now. And you look at what Amazon's doing or these other, streaming platforms, they're producing content at a much lower price.
Yes.
And getting a much bigger ROI.
Yes.
Coming up on the other side, what are restaurants doing to protect customers from cyclosporiasis? It's next.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
What if the most powerful thing you brought to your business was your values? Great leaders don't just drive results, they drive change. Join CEOs, entrepreneurs, executives, and nonprofit leaders at the beautiful St. John's Resort for the Called Conference. Hear bold voices, build meaningful connections, create a lasting legacy. Register today at called-conference.org. The Called Conference, presented by the Pulte Family Charitable Foundation and the Catholic Initiative, where values drive leadership and purpose powers performance. Again, that's called-conference.org.
Big news in the race for governor. President Trump has given John James his complete and total endorsement to be the next governor of Michigan. That's right. President Trump has endorsed conservative warrior John James.
From the great state of Michigan, the legendary John James.
Congressman John James, a friend of mine for a long time, and is doing a great job. Incredible patriot, a West Point graduate, a U.S. Army veteran, a successful businessman. We're going to put John James in charge. So, John, I'm with you. You have everything I can do.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your support. I'm John James. As your governor, I will put my trust in God, and we will put parents back in control of education, eliminate the income tax, and end corruption in Lansing. Common sense is going to make a comeback.
Please join our president in supporting the conservative choice for governor, John James. Paid for by John James for Michigan.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. It's been 3 straight nights of airstrikes in Iran, and Iran's attacked more tanker ships as President Trump says the U.S. will end up controlling the Strait of Hormuz.
The United Arab Emirates reported that 2 ships were hit overnight. Another ship was hit just off the coast of Lima, Oman. This was a ship following the southern route through the strait established by Oman in defiance of the Iranian route to the north.
Fox's Mike Tobin. Lindsey Graham's sister Darlene will be sworn in this afternoon to fill his South Carolina Senate seat for now.
Darlene Graham Nordone currently serves as commissioner of a state agency that provides job services, job placement, and training for blind individuals. Governor Henry McMaster appointed her to fill the remainder of her brother's term in the Senate until voters elect a permanent replacement to take office in January.
Fox's Jonathan Seri. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Guardian Alarm.
From restaurants and schools to warehouses and job sites, Guardian Alarm protects businesses and more across Metro Detroit day and night. Get smarter protection from the local team you can trust. Call Guardian Alarm at 1-800-STAY-OUT today.
One accident on the roads. That's northbound Telegraph after Plymouth Road. Southbound 75 before South Huron River Road. That accident's clear. Traffic still a little slow in that area. Same story on westbound 94 between the Southfield Freeway and E-Course. A bit of a delay there. Westbound 94 between North River Road and Metro Parkway. Left lane closed for construction till Friday at 9 p.m. Traffic slow from M59. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. We're under an extreme heat warning from noon until 8. Lots of sunshine. Very hot today with a high of 100. Heat index will make it feel like 107. Right now it's 72. Clear skies tonight with a low of 75. A mix of clouds and sunshine tomorrow and a high of 96. I'm Renee Vitale. WJR Traffic and Weather First.
I'm Rich Adamo, the owner of Adamo Group, a family-owned business founded in 1964 that performs demolition and environmental remediation work across the United States. For over 20 years, we've known that Tryon has always been there for us and will take care of all of our payroll needs as well as our HR so that we can remain focused on our customers and our core business. And that's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Of all the wireless companies in America, only one has 5 stars in every category from Consumer Reports, and that company is Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. Plus, no service contracts and no cancellation fees. Just phenomenal U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, it's Ryan Armani. I want to get real with you for a minute about a 4-letter word we can all relate to: pain. If you're in severe or chronic pain right now due to arthritis, sciatica, neuropathy, or honestly, just about any other ailment, you need to check out an amazing pain elimination laser treatment at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute, located in Farmington and Clinton Township. It's FDA cleared, totally safe, and their lasers are the highest dose, highest intensity lasers in Michigan. These laser treatments get rid of the pain. They reduce inflammation and regenerate tissue by targeting the root cause of the pain. And the best part, your pain goes away without drugs, injections, side effects, downtime, or everyone's biggest fear, surgery. So grab your phone and call 248-326-2030. That's 248-326-2030. Mention my name this month. You're going to get half off your treatment plan, 50% off your treatment plan. That's huge. The Nerve and Disc Laser Institute, 248-326-2030. Call now.
Paul W. Smith can be found on Focus from noon to 2 p.m. on 760 WJR. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
So it sounds like Michigan health officials have kind of narrowed down the potential source of cyclosporiasis to lettuce.
Yes.
Lettuce or bags of lettuce. Mm-hmm. What was it? Leafy greens.
Leafy greens.
But they're not ruling out anything else.
Right.
Like they've talked about raspberries and cilantro, things like that. Mm-hmm. But they're not ruling anything else out. But lettuce seems to be, and it has been in the past, the culprit for more cases popping up. And so what do restaurants do in order to prevent something like this from originating in one of their restaurants? Well, Amanda Smith is the Executive Vice President of Workforce Development at the Michigan Restaurant and Lodging Association and joins us this morning. Amanda, it's good to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know, it's when I went to the grocery store the other day and I was walking through the produce section, there was significantly less there. Some of the berries were gone, like, you know, those little standalone coolers, empty. You could tell there was far less lettuce available as well.
Yeah.
How then is that affecting the restaurant industry? Are they still able to get these ingredients, and how are they managing all of this?
Yeah, so right now they are still able to get them. There hasn't been a formal recall on any specific brand, but they're all following the CDC recommendations, washing the lettuce, removing the outer leaves, not using any bags. So those are some of the safety protocols that have been released to date.
I know many, people assume restaurants just simply trust their suppliers. How extensive is the food safety system before fresh produce ever reaches a customer's plate?
Well, produce is a little bit more challenging than a lot of other things. Meat's been one of those things and historically has been recalled, right? Mm-hmm. Now there's so much testing in place that it never really makes it to the consumer. Produce is really hard to test. Sometimes in different outbreaks, it's grown into the plant. And it's just whether you're getting that produce in a restaurant, at the grocery store, wherever else. And we don't always cook our produce. A lot of the parasites or different foodborne illnesses with proper cooking temperature, we eliminate the health concern. A lot of produce is consumed raw, so it carries some risk.
Are you hearing from restaurants or companies that they're seeing a decline in people attending at this point?
Well, they really shouldn't be avoiding restaurants. The restaurants, there hasn't been a source, right? Restaurants follow so many protocols to keep their guests safe all the time. This isn't just when there's a concern, right? Buying from a reputable supplier, you mentioned, making sure that they follow proper protocols, which in this case is washing all of the produce before it's served. Hand washing. I remember talking to people during COVID. I'm like, we practice hand washing every single day in a restaurant, not just during a certain outbreak, right? All the food safety standards, changing cutting boards, all those things restaurants do and are trained to do all the time. So there's no reason not to go to restaurants right now.
Well, just say for listeners who are planning to go out this week, dine out this week, are there some questions they should or shouldn't be asking, their waiters or waitresses in the restaurants?
Yeah, I mean, make sure that the place that they're at knows the protocols, that they're washing all of their produce. That's about all we can do right now until we get more information from either MDHHS or the CDC that tells us, something different, or they say, it's this specific brand or that specific brand and it's recalled. And then, of course, we'll avoid it completely. But making sure that they have some standards in place. And then if somebody's really not comfortable, there's a million other things you can eat. I know last night I made fajitas for my family. I cooked those peppers and I cooked the onions just to make sure, right? Made sure that produce was cooked down a little bit more than normal. We get to that 156 temperature that is also part of the CDC guidance.
Well, we all said we were going.
Produce.
We all said we were going on a pizza diet, didn't we? Say we were all.
Yeah, we're on the pizza diet right now until we get this thing figured out, Amanda.
Michigan has some really incredible pizza joints.
Yes, we do.
So I think that's really good advice.
Yes, we do.
Don't forget the ice cream shops.
Ice cream.
Yes.
Ice cream day. I mean, coffee houses. There's an awful lot of things out there that you can.
Yeah. No doubt. Amanda Smith, we appreciate your time. Thank you this morning.
Thanks.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, ice cream sounds good today when it's going to be, a heat index of 100 degrees or better.
Better eat it quick.
Right.
You're going to be sitting in a puddle of rocky road pretty fast.
I know. I got a couple of really nice ice cream shops near me. One in Berkeley, Clark's, and then one in Royal Oak, Ray's. Of course, are great. And let me tell you, on a day like this, you go past, it's going to be a line. Line.
I will tell you, like growing up, it's always been Guernseys for me. Always Guernseys. I mean, I grew
100%.
up around the corner. Guernseys is the spot, right? And they got the big rock out front. You go, you get your ice cream, you go sit outside. Kids run around, probably fall off a rock. They cry for a minute, and then they continue to eat their ice cream. It's tradition.
Well, listen, and Guernsey's has more than just the ice cream. I mean, they have some other
they
great
got
stuff
everything.
too. So I mean, you
they have
kinda,
the greatest breakfast burrito I've ever seen or ate. I love it.
It's
all a one-stop shop over there.
Oh yeah.
All of it's great. But like local ice cream parlors are the best.
Well, just so you have something to look forward to, both of you. I'm off Friday. Friday, Ray's Ice Cream will be coming into the studio to bring you some ice cream.
Look at that.
So
you talked it up. I just talked it up. Talk it up.
How about
Ask and
that?
you shall receive.
Look at that. Didn't even know.
Nope.
Didn't even know. Some good news for the Rocket Classic coming up here in just a couple of days. Brooks Koepka has committed to play in this tournament. A tournament official confirmed Koepka's commitment yesterday. This is from a Tony Paul piece in the Detroit News. It'll be the first time for Brooks Koepka playing in the Rocket Classic. And this is the final tournament, unfortunately. But this is a pretty darn good field. And there has been criticisms that the field hasn't been as strong in the past.
Yeah.
But you've got the number 4 player in the world in Cameron Young. You've got Wyndham Clark, who's a 2-time U.S. Open champion, number 8 in the world. Xander Schauffele's playing. He's number 14 in the world. And Koepka now becoming the first player to leave the PGA Tour for Live Golf, then coming back to the PGA Tour. And he will be in Detroit playing.
All good stuff, man. I mean,
awesome.
They're going out with a bang.
They are. They are.
They
are. And it's great. Because again, it's good for the city, even if this is truly the last one.
Yeah,
having those eyeballs, and again, the story of Brooks Koepka playing is going to be a story in and of itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So even the attention on this tournament goes up even further. I think it's pretty darn cool. You ever have a problem with loud cars?
Yes, I was a loud car yesterday, and it was
like driving past your house or on the road or whatever.
It was a Cadillac.
It was a Cadillac.
It was a Cadillac.
A souped up Cadillac?
Yeah, it was like a Cadillac SUV. but it had like, two exhausts, dual exhaust, and it was just loud. I don't know it's like maybe they made it that way. I don't think, Cadillac made it that way. I think this person made it that way, but it was just loud.
Well, there is some new legislation that is aiming to stop loud cars.
Huh.
And we'll talk about it next here on JR Morning.
Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. Summer's in full swing. You can still enjoy it fully thanks to Dr. Saul Kogan at the Nerve and Disc Institute. His non-invasive, non-surgical intradisc neutrosis treatment for spinal stenosis, bulging and herniated discs, sciatica pain, and degenerative disc disease has helped thousands feel better without drugs, shots, or surgery. One patient said, I quote, "I've suffered with severe back pain for 30 years, surgeries, implanted stimulation devices, opioids, laminectomies, injections, nothing worked. At the Nerve and Disc Institute, my pain went away in 3 weeks. If I had to start over today, I'd try this first, and so should you." End of quote. Dr. Kogan's non-surgical Knee Restore RX treatment helps get rid of severe knee pain from osteoarthritis and meniscus tears. Mention WJR in July and get a consultation, exam, X-ray or MRI review, and laser treatment for only $49 on your first visit. The Nerve and Disc Institute, Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. 586-416-DISC. 586-416-DISC.
Spin on Golf with PGA professionals Brian Cairns, Jordan Young, and WJR Steve Courtney, 6 p.m. Sundays live from St. John's Resort. Escape to the greens with a Cardinal Stay and Play golf package. The show is sponsored by Rocket and the Rocket Classic, coming July 30th through August 2nd.
Hey, it's Black. And Abdallah. When you speed while driving, you have less time to react to whatever comes across your path.
A sharp turn could take you by surprise. Another car could turn out in front of you. A large truck could brake suddenly.
A pedestrian could be walking their dog, and you won't have time to course correct. The speed limit doesn't just protect you, it protects everyone around you.
So slow down, obey the law, and keep everyone on the road safe. Speeding catches up with you.
Paid for by NHTSA.
What's up, Foos? Main event Jey Uso here from the WWE. When it's just me between matches, it's day one-ish. And that means it's Chumba time. With hundreds of casino-style games and new titles arriving weekly, there's always something fresh to try at Chumba Casino. The daily boosts make it even more fun. And have me about to get them all during my downtime. Ready for a fun way to chill out and enjoy a few minutes for yourself? Let's chump.
Sponsored by PGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in the state where it's legal to play.
Your sign is your company's calling card, your identity, your brand, and your first impression. The experts at Identicom Signs provide complete turnkey signage solutions, handling every detail from design and permitting to fabrication and installation. Whether you're a restaurant, retailer, healthcare provider, or other commercial business, Identicom Signs can help elevate your company's image. If your brand needs freshening up, visit IdenticomSigns.com. That's IdenticomSigns.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Your morning is busy, so we'll keep it brief. Upgrade your routine with WJR's 5 Things First Thing. JR Morning with Chris, Lloyd, and Jamie break down the top 5 stories in just 5 minutes. Delivered straight to your device. Start your day by hitting play. Subscribe today on the always free WJR app.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
We have a crash taking up the right lane of the Southfield Freeway northbound after McNichols. Traffic very slow as you approach that area. Northbound Telegraph after Plymouth Road, an accident there. So travel on westbound 94 between the Southfield Freeway and E-Course. Also westbound 94 between North River Road and Metro Parkway. Left lane closed for construction till 9 p.m. on Friday. Traffic's backed up to M59. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Some dangerous heat continuing to spill in. Today, tomorrow, the hottest days where we're going to peak near or just above 100 degrees today. A shot at the record of 104. Going to go 100 or just above with a heat index over 104. That'll be 105 plus. So that combines the heat and humidity. A few clouds and sunshine. Other than that, it's going to be dry. Tonight, mid-70s. Tomorrow, near 100 again. The heat index close to 105. Thursday, sunny and hot, mid-90s. Friday, sunshine, 90. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
So an effort in Lansing to quiet some noisy cars on the road is bipartisan. It would give law enforcement broader authority to ticket drivers with modified or excessively loud exhaust systems and increase fines for these violations, especially if they're repeat offenders. Representative Jason Hoskins out of the 18th District and Natalie Price out of Berkeley have been working on this as well, and they join us this morning. It's good to talk with you both.
Great to be on. Thanks for including us.
Yeah. Jason, where did this idea come from?
Well, we've heard from so many constituents who've, just been trying to relax and enjoy peace and quiet at home, and you hear these loud noises. And so when you hear from a variety of people who are veterans, people with young kids, people with pets, we wanted to be able to try to tackle this problem for them.
And there is a difference between someone enjoying a classic car and someone intentionally creating excessive noise. How do you draw that line in a way that kind of respects both residents and those automotive enthusiasts?
Well, in the state's vehicle code, we have currently certain decibels that are set, and this legislation is right in line with those decibels. So we're just trying to enforce when somebody modifies their vehicle to make it excessively loud in comparison to those approved standard decibel levels. That's what we're trying to address with this legislative update.
So under the current law, drivers cited for an illegal exhaust will face a $100 fine. Representative Hoskins, how does that change under this legislation?
So under this new legislation, we raised the penalties to $500 for the first offense. And even under that first offense, if you simply remove that modification and show that to a court, we'll waive that first offense. But then after that, it goes up for the second and third offenses. It goes up to $1,000. And we work with our law enforcement, our friends in law enforcement, to really work out those new fines because they wanted to make sure they had more teeth.
I know Representative Hoskins, I hear that there's been some concerns from lawmakers in rural areas who kind of wonder if this could affect people statewide. How do you make sure this law works in communities with, different environments?
And that is a fun part of lawmaking. We're working with our colleagues right now to figure out that balance. We, in urban areas, we are dealing with this a lot. It is certainly not something that Representative Price and I are dealing with in our area. It is something that is happening around the state. And so it is about us, conveying that to our colleagues who may not live and who may live in rural areas about the real importance of this. And that's one of the good things about this process is we get to work together and find something that's equitable for everybody.
Representative Price, there are people out there that are saying, well, hold on. If I want to have this on my car, that's my business. That's not anybody else's business. Live and let live, if you will. We do have a law on the book currently, but what's the message to those folks?
Well, this is the old, your freedom to swing your fist ends with my face. I understand that people care a lot, especially in the Motor City, about their vehicles and being able to showcase their vehicles. And I love that. Me and a lot of people working on this, we love the Dream Cruise. We love the appreciation of unique vehicles. The problem is when you modify your vehicle to be excessively loud over the approved decibel standards, you are swinging your fist into somebody's face. You are doing them real, measurable harm to their ability to sleep, recover, enjoy their porch, and their property values. All of these things are being impacted by excessively loud modified exhaust systems. And that's really where we have to draw the line and allow our local law enforcement to enforce the law as it was designed.
And Representative Hoskins, the bills now head to the House Transportation Committee. What changes or maybe compromises you expect as you kind of work to build some support among lawmakers?
I'm working with the chair of that committee, the Transportation Committee, Representative Outman, to really work out those changes. And as we go through the summer, hopefully we'll be able to get some things together to be able to bring forward to the committee for a hearing.
And if these bills become law, what should residents, kind of realistically expect next summer? Will they notice an immediate difference?
That is the hope. And it will certainly give more our friends in law enforcement more tools because one of the issues is that when we talk to police chiefs in the area, the people who have these excessively loud cars, they're paying the fines. The fines are not deterring them from doing this. And hopefully the goal with this is that this will truly be a deterrent and people will be able to enjoy a little peace next summer.
Representative Jason Hoskins and Representative Natalie Price, thank you for your time on this. We'll keep an eye on it and keep us updated, will you please?
Wonderful.
All right.
Thanks for spreading the word.
Yeah, you got it. Thanks for your time this morning.
Yeah, it gets loud on what, but I can't say is.
But that's what you expect during the Dream Cruise.
Well, yeah, but I can't say it's just a Dream Cruise issue. I mean, there are a lot. Like I told you, there are people who will be sitting out in lawn chairs this weekend, looking at cars go up and down Woodward Avenue, and there'll be some souped up cars and some classic cars going down. I mean, the Dream Cruise isn't until next month, but they'll sit up there and they'll watch the cars and there'll be loud cars. And, Berkeley is right there. You got homes right there. And I just think, if you soup it up, you pay to soup up your car to make it louder than, more than the decibel that's allowed. That's the issue.
I got to be honest. It's never really bothered me. The only time it's ever bothered me is when my kids are asleep and I'm like, if that exhaust wakes up my kids,
well, yeah.
I have a moment of peace. I need this kid to go to sleep. I need quiet for 10 minutes. And then you hear.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of that. A lot of people feel the same way in those neighboring areas, though.
But for the most part, I don't really care. I think they're kind of cool. Again, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
But if you're into that, cool. God bless.
It's pointless.
What do you have? It's not
silly.
pointless.
It is pointless. It's just dumb noise. Why are you making dumb noise?
Because it sounds like
it sounds cool.
It's cool.
It sounds. You know what it sounds like?
Cool, something's wrong with you. It's not cool.
Maybe you're a communist. It sounds like pure American power. That's what it sounds like.
It sounds like you're compensating for something.
Listen, Stalin.
Oh my God.
That is pure American power.
We were sitting home one day, Bev and I. It was a nice, quiet neighborhood, and this moron across the street fired his car up, and we both I nearly fell out of my chair. It was so loud.
What are you drinking, Haterade this morning?
Let's pass the law that if your car is too loud, I can come over and slap you. How about that? That's the law I want.
Let people
so
live.
much violence. So much violence. So much violence.
Just
Lloyd just wants us all to get along.
Can we all just get along?
Let people do their thing.
Thank God for a commercial break coming up here.
They're not hurting anybody. All right, we got to go to a break. 8 o'clock hour coming up. It's Jared Moore.
This summer, cool down the Michigan way with Guernsey Farms Dairy. Their legendary ice cream is made right here in Michigan, and nothing beats their refreshing lemonade, which we know is the official lemonade of Mackinac Island. Whether you're hitting the lake, hosting a backyard barbecue, or just soaking up the sunshine, Guernsey's got your summer cravings covered. They have been the staple in Michigan fridges for over 80 years, and I choose to have the ice cream, the lemonade in our house. When John McGuire started Guernsey Farms Dairy, he had a vision, and now it's continued with the family's third generation. John wanted to create a legacy for his family and the community, and the McGuire family is proud to continue that work today. Guernsey now delivers over 70,000 gallons of milk a week because of their great team and its partnership with one of Michigan's oldest family-owned fourth-generation dairy processors, Walnutdale Farms in Wayland, Michigan. Remember, when looking for Guernsey's award-winning milk, ice cream, and lemonade, make sure to visit your local grocer or stop by their store and restaurant in Northville for an experience like no other.
Are you ready to experience the sights and sounds of Scotland right here in Michigan? The St. Andrews Society of Detroit invites you to North America's longest continuously running Highland Games. The historic weekend kicks off Friday, July 31st at 5 p.m. with the K-Lee, an adults-only night under the big tent featuring 6 incredible Celtic bands, dancing, and great refreshments. Then grab the whole family on Saturday, August 1st, starting at 8 a.m. for the 177th Annual Highland Games at Greenmead Historical Park in Livonia. Witness epic heavy athletics like the famous caber toss, hear the powerful massed pipe bands, and watch world-class Highland dancers compete. There's amazing food, unique Celtic vendors, and the Wee Bairns children's area for the little ones. Best of all, your attendance supports Michigan's oldest benevolent organization in giving back to the community. Don't miss out. Get your tickets and full schedule today at highlandgames.com.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
The U.S. military is getting ready to put a blockade back in place around Iran's ports. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It was lifted during the ceasefire. It'll be reimposed today as fighting rages on.
We will end up discontrolling the whole thing. And what they're doing is being very foolish, very stupid, and they've treated people horribly.
And President Trump says to keep the Strait of Hormuz safe, the U.S. will charge ships 20% for passage after a third day of American strikes.
The U.S. pounded Iran for 5 hours last night. CENTCOM says they hit military targets across 6 different locations.
Fox's Aisha Hasni also reports from the White House. Iran also keeps up the attacks.
The IRGC carried out drone and missile strikes on U.S. military targets in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan. And a Dutch shipping firm says one of its vessels was struck off the coast of Oman.
And Iran also hit 2 other tankers, and oil prices keep rising back up more than 2%. WTI back to about $80 a barrel. A week ago, it was 68, something the president may discuss with Iraq's new prime minister today when he visits the White House for talk. There's another ICE shooting being protested and investigated. This one in Biddeford, Maine, where immigration agents were trying to detain someone here illegally.
Maine Senator Angus King said DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen told him the officer opened fire after the driver tried to use his car as a weapon against agents. He also claims the shooting victim was not the target of the arrest warrant.
Fox's Nate Foy, a deputy U.S. Marshal, shot and killed trying to arrest a wanted fugitive in Louisiana. That led to a long standoff until the suspect was taken into custody, then hospitalized with injuries. South Carolina gets a new senator today. Lindsey Graham's sister, Darlene, will be sworn in after being appointed by the governor.
It is such a privilege to get to finish some of his important work.
Darlene Graham Nordone will finish the term for Senator Graham that will last till January. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America, sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 2026, dedicated to offering solutions to help businesses meet their goals locally and globally. More at bankofamerica.com/gamechanger. That's bankofamerica.com/gamechanger.
Northbound on the South Freeway after McNichols, still have that crash taking up the right lane traffic back up to 96. Northbound Telegraph after Plymouth Road, a crash there. Van Born, a alien accident as well. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. We're under an extreme heat warning starting at noon today, going till 8 o'clock. Lots of sunshine, very hot, a high of 100. Heat index will make it feel like 107. Right now, it's 73. Clear skies tonight, below at 75. A mix of clouds and sunshine tomorrow, and a high of 96. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? debt. Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155.
Optima Tax Relief.
Ryan Romani, are you in pain right now? I'm talking about the severe and chronic kind that stops you from enjoying your life. I've been there too, and that's why I want to tell you about the amazing pain elimination treatment I use only at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute. It's FDA cleared and 100% safe. The highest dose, highest intensity lasers in Michigan. The best part, there's no injections, pain meds, downtime, side effects, or surgery. Great for people suffering from arthritis, sciatica, neuropathy, or other ailments. Laser treatments get rid of the pain, they reduce inflammation, and regenerate tissues by targeting the root cause of the pain. It's located in Farmington and Clinton Township. You can call 248-326-2030. That's 248-326-2030. Mention my name this month, and you're going to get 50% off your treatment plan. The Nerve and Disc Laser Institute. Call now.
It's another JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and streaming on WJR.com, where Michigan comes to talk.
All right, 8 o'clock hour, going to be a hot one today. It's going to feel like it's above 100 degrees. And thankfully, the city will have cooling centers all around. So
Yes.
those will be available to people.
All the rec centers will be open, libraries in the city.
But I just don't, try to stay in if you can.
Yeah.
It makes going out a lot less enjoyable.
Definitely.
It's like, maybe I should just bring a lunch today.
Well,
Do I really need to go out for lunch? It's going to be, I think the sidewalk will be melting. I don't know.
Don't go out barefoot.
Yeah, no.
You'll burn your feet.
Don't do that. But keep your pets at home, things like that.
Please
check
keep
on
them
the
at home.
loved ones in your life to make sure
The
that
elderly, yes. Make sure
their air is working and they're okay.
Yes. Yes.
That's all you can do. Meanwhile, we think that the state has possibly narrowed down, but they can't quite confirm the cause of cyclosporiasis and where it's coming from.
No, they say that lettuce and salad greens are now the leading suspected source.
Salad and lettuce has taken the lead.
Yes. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services reports that more than 2,600 cases statewide, far above the normal 40 to 50 that we usually hear here. Investigators have not identified a specific grower or supplier, but officials are urging consumers to buy whole heads of lettuce. Don't buy that bag salad mix. And they also say discard the outer leaves of that whole head of lettuce and wash the remaining leaves thoroughly. Cook greens whenever possible because that kills the parasite. Health officials say contaminated produce remains the focus of the investigation, while recreational swimming is not believed to be a source of the outbreak. And then, there have been some people who have been let go from the CDC in that specific department that tracks these foodborne illnesses. There've been some layoffs and things there. So they say that's kind of helping to make this slow stroll and trying to find out what's going on and where this is exactly coming from, because we have less people dealing with it at the CDC.
Well, again, though, it's been pretty standard in the past.
Yeah.
Like where this is coming from.
Yeah.
I remember last week when we talked to Natasha Bagdasarian, the chief medical officer here in Michigan, she said, usually it's lettuce. Usually it's, something in produce, usually lettuce. That's where it usually comes from, but
Yeah.
they were still trying to track it down. Usually, and she even highlighted it. And if you missed the interview, you can go to WJR.com. It's there. But like locally, local health officials are doing a lot of that groundwork for them.
Yeah.
So they'll say, "What'd you eat last week?"
Mhm.
Or "What'd you eat 2 weeks ago?" I don't know how you remember that. I don't.
Remember what I ate 2 days ago.
Right. So it's tough. And as somebody who has this thing,
Uh-huh.
it's like, I don't remember what I ate. We were talking about it in one of the breaks.
Yeah.
It's like, I have no idea. Not a clue what I ate. Because it's different. You do whatever, different things. But I have no idea. And I don't know how I'm the only one in my family that got it. That's the crazy part.
Michigan, is the hardest hit state. I mean, it's in
Yes.
33 states at this point, but as hardest hit is Michigan and Ohio.
Yep.
44 people have been sent to the hospital because this, you
Here, in
dehydrate.
Michigan.
Yeah, in Michigan.
Yeah.
Because, you dehydrate with the, diarrhea dehydrates you, and some people are not getting enough, and so they have to pump them with IV.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the president says that they're going to take control of the strait.
We're taking out all of their capability for anything having to do with the strait, with the Hormuz Strait. And I think in the end, we will end up discontrolling the whole thing.
The naval blockade is set to be put back into place. It's going to be effective as of 4:00 this afternoon. And one of the things that the president has talked about is a 20% fee on these cargo ships. He says,
We are going to be reimbursed for protection. We're protecting by the countries that we're helping.
I don't know how that would be put into place. I don't think a PayPal account has been set up, as far as I know.
Well, and they didn't like it when Iran did it.
No, I didn't like it when Iran was talking about it.
Yeah. So I don't
I
know
don't like
how
this.
we were able to change it for us. That it's okay for us to do it.
Now, the genius of the blockade initially was that you were cutting off everything to Iran.
Yes.
The downside of that is everybody was suffering, including here in the United States. And the cost of oil has gone
Oil
up
is
into
up.
the 80s.
$80 over
today.
80. Yeah.
We'll talk to Patrick DeHaan coming up next on gas, on the gas front. But as it pertains to Iran and what the United States is doing now is they have effectively, the memorandum of understanding is gone. Whatever ceasefire, the 60-day ceasefire that was put into place as a result of that memorandum, basically gone, because the United States is carrying out actions militarily on Iran, particularly along the coast, but even more inland now, and even potentially hitting one of the areas where they think is a nuclear site, which is this Pickaxe Mountain. So that is an area where they could potentially be targeting as well for a military action. So they haven't relented, that's for sure.
South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster has appointed Darlene Graham Nardone, the sister of the late Senator Lindsey Graham, to fill his U.S. Senate seat through the remainder of his term. Graham, as you know, died over the weekend at the age of 71 from what the medical examiner says was likely an aortic dissection, a tear in the body's main artery. Nardone has never held elected office, but shared a close bond with her brother, who became her legal guardian after their father's death and later adopted her. She will serve until January, while South Carolina voters elect a senator to a full 6-year term in November following the Republican primary in August.
She has not been very political over the years. This would be her first real political position. She was in her brother's campaign commercial at one point. In 2019, she was the commissioner and agency head for the South Carolina Commission for the Blind, which administers vocational rehabilitation, independent living, and blindness prevention programs for South Carolinians who are blind or have low vision. She's done a lot of work in helping people with disabilities that need some sort of help. So she's done good stuff.
And she's got the support of the president. I know the president said that's who he would like to see. And
it's certainly ceremonial. She'll be leaning heavily on the staff that her brother had in place. It's just a terrible situation. And again, she's not running for office again.
No.
She's just filling out the rest of his term.
Yeah. The People Mover was shut down overnight because of a system-wide software glitch. They suspended all service for last evening to allow maintenance crews to investigate the issue. They have found the issue. I was just informed that the People Mover opened as usual this morning, and it is moving people as we speak.
Oh, good.
So just in case you missed my dulcet tones of telling you what stop you were getting off at, it's back up now.
There's a Ward manual controversy now.
Oh, man.
At the University of Michigan, because a new report could be coming out as early as this week that highlights potentially some, people knew about Sharon Moore and the staffer, or people knew about the cheating scandal and basically covered it up.
Well, and Ward says, he told Yahoo Sports that he has no plans to step down, saying he expects to remain athletic director. Well, okay, you may not have plans to step down yourself, but depending what's in this report, the university may have other plans.
Yes, for sure. You watching the MLB All-Star game tonight?
No.
Okay. Jason? I know Brian ain't watching that.
That's no.
Negative.
Okay.
Not a fan of really any of the sports.
The All-Star
games, yeah.
Oh,
Riley Green will start in left field. How about that?
Don't get hurt.
All-star starter.
Don't get hurt.
Riley,
All right.
agreed. Don't get hurt. He gets one pop fly, and that's it. Pull him.
Right.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Give him the hook. I did catch a little bit of the home run derby last night
How
on
was that?
Netflix. It's not.
Glorified batting practice, my friends.
It's just not for me.
It's not okay.
The one dude from Kansas City hit a 477-foot bomb, though. That was impressive.
They said the guy from Tampa hit a 491.
Yes, I missed that one, but I did see 477.
Almost 500 feet.
Which is absolutely unbelievable.
I mean, but has anybody ever knocked it out of the ballpark like Cecil did back in the day? Cecil Field.
Well, it depends on what ballpark.
Yeah,
if you're in San Francisco, they'll hit it into the bay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so you got to have the opening.
I just remember Cecil hitting it, over the roof at Tiger Stadium.
I forget where they used to hit them, but there was an auto shop across the street.
Yeah.
Where the balls would land in the auto shop parking lot.
That's right.
And break some of the windshields.
And then they'd have to fix.
Yeah.
They'd have to fix that. Gas prices on the rise again. The cost of a barrel of oil is going up. We'll talk to Patrick DeHaan on the other side. It's JR Morning.
Your sign is your company's calling card, your identity, your brand, and your first impression. The experts at Identicom Signs provide complete turnkey signage solutions, handling every detail. Sign and permitting, fabrication, and installation. Whether you're a restaurant, retailer, healthcare provider, or other commercial business, Identicom Signs can help elevate your company's image. If your brand needs freshening up, visit IdenticomSigns.com. That's IdenticomSigns.com.
Mark your calendar for Michigan's biggest summer tradition, the Ann Arbor Art Fair, July 16th through the 18th. Explore hundreds of artists from across the country featuring incredible paintings, sculptures, jewelry, photography, ceramics, and more. Enjoy live entertainment, delicious food, hands-on activities, and the vibrant energy of downtown Ann Arbor. Whether you're a serious collector or just looking for fun summer days, there's something for everyone at the Ann Arbor Art Fair. July 16th through the 18th in downtown Ann Arbor. Learn more at theannarborartfair.com.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy, so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
There's a place where mornings begin with coffee on the world's longest front porch and evenings end with music under the stars. For 140 years, that place has been Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island. Join us in our 140th season as America celebrates 250 years for a summer of special events and new Grand American evenings each night, beginning after dinner with outdoor entertainment and patriotic celebration for all ages. Join us for a season to celebrate. Visit grandhotel.com or give us a call at 1-800-33-GRAND and mention code WJR2026 for 15% off our best available rate. Conditions apply.
Of all the wireless companies in America, only one has 5 stars in every category from Consumer Reports, and that company is Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. Plus, no service contracts and no cancellation fees. Just phenomenal U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion. When it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide. It relieves heartburn fast. And the best part, the roll fits right here in my pocket. So I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is the highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use it directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Whether you're starting an office, industrial, public sector, or healthcare real estate project, you're going to have questions.
How should we approach construction?
Are we getting the best real estate advice? Lots of questions. At Plant Moran Real Point, our multidisciplinary team of real estate experts have decades of experience successfully guiding Michigan's largest real estate projects from concept to completion. Here's our point. To find the commercial real estate answers and guidance you need to succeed, let Plant Moran Real Point the way. Learn more at pmrealpoint.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Guardian Alarm.
Metro Detroit business owners, when you need smarter security, trust the local team at Guardian Alarm to do it right. With video surveillance, access control, fire protection, and 24/7 monitoring, you get peace of mind day and night. Call Guardian Alarm at 1-800-STAY-OUT today.
On the Southfield Freeway northbound after McNichols, an accident there is just clear. Traffic still slow from 96. Also, an accident's cleared on Van Born at Beach Daily. Traffic a little slow in that area as well. Also seeing delays on westbound 94 between the Southfield Freeway and Ecorse. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Big ridge of high pressure now continuing to dominate, and it's going to get hotter than yesterday's 90. How about 100, maybe a degree or two above? Now, we've got to get to 104 to get to the record. That was set way back in 1936. Now, it might feel like 104 or hotter with the heat index. So we've got a heat advisory this afternoon through tonight. Tonight, mainly clear, 75. Suburbs might dip into the 60s. Wednesday, sunny and hot again, near 100. Heat index 105. Mid-90s Thursday and sunny. Friday, sunshine near 90. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
I'm Kevin Dees coming up on All Talk. I'm taking a little time off for my summer vacation, but we have some incredible guests lined up for you to bring you the big stories that everyone's talking about. Attorney, political analyst, and host of the Crisis Files podcast, Roshini Rajkumar will get us started. It's going to be a lot of fun. All Talk is 9 to noon. You can stream us anytime at WJR.com.
I like that music. Yeah. Sounds like the ice cream man coming down the street. On a hot day.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
Yay!
On a hot day, that,
Yeah. Crude oil prices are going up. Brent crude surging to $86, $87 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate up to $79, $80 a barrel. So we're seeing the immediate impact of what's unfolding in the Middle East in real time. What does that mean for you at the gas pump? Let's talk about it. Patrick DeHaan, the senior petroleum analyst at GasBuddy.com. Patrick, good to have you back. We're starting to see these prices go back up. What does it mean for us?
Exactly right. Probably we'll start noticing more of that even today. As you mentioned, crude oil prices up pretty dramatically yesterday, and looks like we're continuing to climb this morning, up another 2.5% to $80 a barrel. What it means is that we'll probably see the national average reaching $4 a gallon. That could happen here later this week. The national average is at $3.81. In Michigan, we're already a little bit higher at $3.90. I believe that in very short order, we could see prices in Michigan jumping as they do during cycling days. I think today or tomorrow. I don't see how they wait until tomorrow, given the wholesale price went up yesterday. But we could see a fairly big jump starting today. It could be tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, the jump that we saw in the market yesterday, stations were paying that last night, and they haven't yet passed it along. So it's coming. It's just a matter of when.
Is this a short-term spike, or should we prepare for prices to kind of continue climbing throughout the rest of the summer?
I'd like to think it's a short-term spike, but I mean, the entire memorandum of understanding. The ceasefire is now behind us, and there's new attacks. So I don't think it's going to be short term for now, but I don't know how long term it's going to be either. Right? This is one of those things where I don't have a crystal ball, and it really is contingent on how long the situation escalates. And that's the phase we're back into. By the way, it's not just the Strait of Hormuz. In the last 6 weeks, we've seen more and more Ukrainian attacks on Russian oil refineries. I want to say probably a fourth of the time that you guys have me on, it's something about a refinery here and there. And though those refineries overseas are not in our backyard, Russia is such a significant exporter of diesel. 1 in 9 barrels of diesel produced comes from Russia. Not anymore, because of the attacks. Russia has banned exports. They're keeping all of their products in their country because there's not enough fuel for even themselves. They just don't have enough fuel to export. And so part of why we're going to be digging deeper is not just the Strait of Hormuz, so that is the biggest shift, but it's also because Ukraine is attacking Russian oil refineries. And you can't build an oil refinery overnight. And that's the problem. A lot of Americans look at the price of oil. We talk about oil every day, but oil is only one of the components in gasoline. And the other factor here is that just there's not, you can't build another refinery overnight. So I'm expecting to see prices at the retail level go up probably as early as today. How long they stay there? Well, we have a short-term potential escalation with the U.S. and Iran. And I think the Ukraine-Russia situation, the attacks on refineries, that may be longer lasting.
Yeah.
I think Ukraine is figuring out a way to really stick it to Russia.
So if you go back to before this conflict started, a cost of a barrel, and I don't know the exact number, but it was around $65 a barrel. And then we saw the price jump. Is the jumping off point now, if this continues to escalate, are we jumping off from $80 a barrel? And what does that do for the cost?
Yeah, there's been a lot of the comparison of pre-war, the price of oil was this, the price of gasoline was that. There's a lot to explain the disconnect. The seasonality, the summer blends that we've been switched to kind of distort that. In addition, the lack of refinery capacity overseas distorts that. Higher demand distorts that. So we'd probably see the national average at over $4 a gallon, even though oil just hit $80. I know a lot of people will say, well, back in 2008, it didn't hit $4 until oil hit $150. But that's only looking at the price of oil, right? If you look at inflation of wages, property taxes, property values, the cost of doing business, all of that's gone up. So there's not really a magic ratio that really exists anymore. Some of it is seasonality. That is, if we're in January, $80 oil is going to bring us a vastly lower price because lower demand and cheaper winter gasoline. But on top of that, that's why I mentioned the attacks on Russian refineries, is that's leading to a bit of a disconnect right now. So, for the time being, $80 oil is probably going to mean close to $4 gasoline. And that's because of all the things I mentioned. The cost of business, taxes have gone up. Michigan's gasoline tax has gone up dramatically since people make that 2008 comparison.
If you were advising drivers on what to expect between now and Labor Day, Patrick, would you tell them to fill up before that road trip now, or do you think there's still a chance that prices could ease again?
I really don't see much of that potential. There's more risk to the upside right now than downside. If you're listening this morning, I'd probably fill my tank up because I'm expecting prices in Michigan to go back above the $4 a gallon mark. They could hit $4.19. They could go even higher than that. So I'm seeing that stations in real time this morning, anyone that's got a tanker truck paid a lot more for that gasoline. And that's why it's very likely in my head that sometime today or tomorrow we'll start to see prices go up. And then for the rest of the summer, based on where we are, unless there's de-escalations with the U.S. and Iran, I do think we'll probably stick closer to the $4 or even above the $4 mark. It's a developing situation, right? Gasoline and oil prices almost never hold still. As long as there's new news, as long as there's continued escalations and attacks, this is a kind of a daily, if you watch the price of oil, it's moving constantly.
Yeah.
So gasoline is going to be moving constantly based on whatever the new developments look like. And I wish I had that crystal ball to tell you it's going to be higher today or lower tomorrow. But for now, it looks like the trend is going to be upward. and I think it could last at least a few weeks.
Well, if you ever get that crystal ball going and you want to tell us lottery numbers, we'd appreciate that too.
As long as I get a hand in the winnings.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
Yes.
Yes. Patrick DeHaan, appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. And of course, the DOJ is looking into, whether or not these gas stations are price gouging, companies are price gouging, things like that. So that's all in the fold as well. Coming up on the other side, what happens to mechanics in a time when cars are getting more technologically savvy? It's next.
Life is beautiful and fragile. We fall. We get tired. And sometimes we get sick. But with Corewell Health, we are also strong. We fight disease. We battle cancer. We come together. We come back. We push forward. When the body breaks, we break through. Corewell Health.
Second opinions. You get them with your health, so why not with your wealth? Your stock market investments deserve a second opinion. At Henyon & Walsh, it only takes a second. To schedule your free second opinion, call 800-279-5279. Henyon & Walsh, the second opinion people. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
PFAS are a group of widely used and potentially harmful chemicals found throughout our environment. The good news is that you can reduce your exposure. Here's how. Learn if your drinking water contains PFAS. Follow Eat Safe Fish guidelines. Avoid foam on surface water and limit the use of products that may contain PFAS. Find more tips to reduce your exposure at michigan.gov/PFAS. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Summer is just around the corner. Crystal here from Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, reminding you to schedule your summer service today. Don't wait for the heat to hit. For a worry-free home, visit familyheating.com and call to schedule your summer service today.
The Beach Boys celebrate America 250 and 60 years of their groundbreaking album, Pet Sounds. Saturday, August 15th at Meadowbrook Amphitheater. Win tickets. Text the keyword beach to 800-859-0957. Sponsored by 313 Presents. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Jelosi. President Trump ordering a new set of strikes on Iranian military targets for a third straight night.
The U.S. pounded Iran for 5 hours last night. Also seeing reports that the IRGC carried out drone and missile strikes on U.S. military targets. All of this hours after the president said the U.S. was taking control of the strait.
That's Fox's Aisha Hazi. Now, Supreme Court Justices Elena Kagan and Amy Coney Barrett will testify on Capitol Hill about the Supreme Court's proposed fiscal year budget, including $14 million meant to strengthen security protections for justices.
The U.S. Marshals Service says that in 2025, it saw a 57% increase in security incidents involving the judges.
That is Fox's Alex Hogan. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Trouble sleeping lately? Upgrade to the great sleep you deserve at Mattress Firm's July 4th sale. Choose from a curated selection of top brands and let their sleep experts help you narrow it down. They make sleep easy.
One accident on the roads. That's in Detroit at Mount Elliott in Nevada. Eastbound on the Jeffries between 275 and Newburgh, we're seeing slow traffic. Westbound 94 between North River Road and Metro Parkway. Left lane closed for construction till 9 o'clock on Friday. That's causing delays to M59. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Footloose at thumbcoasttheaters.com. Experience live theater at Thumbcoast Theaters in St. Clair. Don't miss the hit musical Footloose, packed with explosive dancing, iconic songs, and a story about breaking the rules and finding your voice. Get your tickets at thumbcoasttheaters.com. That's thumbcoasttheaters.com. We're under an extreme heat warning from noon until 8. Lots of sunshine. Very hot today. A high of 100. Heat index will make it feel like 107. Right now it's 74. Clear skies tonight with a low of 75. A mix of clouds and sunshine. Tomorrow, high of 96. I'm Renee Vitale. WJR Traffic and Weather First.
It's going to be hot today, and you want to be comfortable in your house. So don't let these high temperatures break your budget. You need to count on Consumers Energy to help make the most of this season and stretch that budget with tips on how to save money, like shifting some energy use to the morning or evening, raising your thermostat just a couple of degrees. It ain't going to be 100 degrees in your house. And do laundry at night or on the weekends. All of these things can help keep your bill low while keeping your home comfortable. And that's the important part. So discover more ways to beat the heat at consumersenergy.com/summer.
Hey, it's Ryan Armani. I want to get real with you for a minute about a 4-letter word we can all relate to: pain. If you're in severe or chronic pain right now due to arthritis, sciatica, neuropathy, or honestly, just about any other ailment, you need to check out an amazing pain elimination laser treatment at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute, located in Farmington and Clinton Township. It's FDA cleared, totally safe, and their lasers are the highest dose, highest intensity lasers in Michigan. These laser treatments get rid of the pain. They reduce inflammation and regenerate tissue by targeting the root cause of the pain. And the best part, your pain goes away without drugs, injections, side effects, downtime, or everyone's biggest fear, surgery. So grab your phone and call 248-326-2030. That's 248-326-2030. Mention my name this month. You're going to get half off your treatment plan, 50% off your treatment plan. That's huge. The Nerve and Disc Laser Institute, 248-326-2030. Call now.
Your sign is your company's calling card, your identity, your brand, and your first impression. The experts at Identicom Signs provide complete turnkey signage solutions, handling every detail from design and permitting to fabrication and installation. Whether you're a restaurant, retailer, healthcare provider, or other commercial business, Identicom Signs can help elevate your company's image. If your brand needs freshening up, visit IdenticomSigns.com. That's IdenticomSigns.com.
Alltech Doors has proudly served Metro Detroit for over 20 years, offering high-quality commercial door and residential garage door solutions. Need a quick fix or a full installation? Their certified techs are there day or night. For your free estimate, go to alltechdoors.com. That's ALTECH doors.com.
The summer drive-in at USA Hockey Arena is the perfect spot for date night, girls' night, and all-around family fun. Enjoy a delicious dinner at CJ's Brewing Company before your double feature with a dinner and movie package for only $25 per person. SummerDriveIn.com.
Friday, Mike Rogers was on Focus with Paul W. Smith and broke this news.
Congressman Mike Rogers.
I think I have some big news to share for you. Gordie Howe Bridge is getting wrapped up. That bridge is going to get open. A little bit of time, some tough negotiations, some long conversations. This is how you get things done. We're going to get the bridge open. And this was the most important thing that I've been working with the White House and got this from the secretary yesterday, that they will guarantee and ensure that we're not pouring Chinese cars over that after that bridge.
Bridging together all the pieces of the biggest stories in Michigan. 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk. Stay here for All Talk with Kevin Dietz at 9. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
I think Jason's DJing this morning, man.
He's spinning it.
Some hot tunes this morning.
Spinning it. Well, if you've bought a car in the last 5 years, you've seen an increase in your technology.
Yeah.
It's been a big jump. And it was funny because I was talking about this with somebody the other day. You know, there used to be, I feel like there used to be more like mom and pop mechanic shops.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you just needed something, you needed a new spark plug or you need whatever
get
it
some
is.
brakes or
Whatever
something
it
like
is,
that. Yeah.
they'll take care of you. And it was reasonably priced and all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
I think I feel like I see less of them now. And partly because the technology that goes in these vehicles, they're not equipped for that. That's not something that they necessarily can handle. And certainly with electric vehicles, if there need to be some sort of repairs made, I don't know if, your standard mom and pop mechanic can fix those.
No, sometimes things have to be reset in your computer module, and they can't do it. You got to take it back to the dealership because they can do it. I was at a dealership and I heard somebody say, well, yeah, your computer chip, something isn't working and it's going to need to be repaired. How much is it? Oh, it's going to be about $3,400.
Right. So it was an interesting topic that I was talking about with somebody. And then I see in the Detroit News they've covered this story. And Carl Brower is the executive analyst for iccars.com and joins us to talk about it. Carl, good morning. It's good to have you.
Hey, great to be on with you guys.
So what is the state of your local mechanic shop? Because these vehicles are way more than they used to bargain for.
Well, there's a spectrum, of course, of capabilities for independent shops, but there are certainly plenty of shops out there with, certified mechanics, ASC certified technicians who can handle even the most modern vehicles' repair demands as far as the technology goes. What's trickier is whether they have the ability to do it because of access to information. And I think that's where the real battle has been discussed is if you've got, for instance, updated software that's becoming available for these cars, or you've got a bunch of information that's come back because the car is tracking everything that's going on and keeping a record of it, and that helps diagnose and fix these problems. But only the manufacturer and the manufacturer's official dealer, the dealer branded dealers, are getting access to that information, and that's going to reduce the independent shop's ability to repair the vehicle, and that's what kind of is the big battle now for right to repair. And what they're saying is that, manufacturers are claiming, well, for safety, we can't have people who don't really know what they're doing fixing these cars. And it's like they kind of don't add in, well, the reason they may not know what they're doing is because you're not giving them the information that you've got access to because of all the connected car technology to help them fix the cars. And, if only the dealers have that information, it just, like any supply demand situation, it would mean more people would have to go to the dealers. They wouldn't have the option to use independent shops, and the dealers would potentially start to have more of a monopoly and charge more money to get your car repaired.
Well, the average driver may not think about repair access when they buy a car. So should consumers now be asking a question about like, hey, how easy is it for this vehicle to be repaired before they purchase it?
I think it's absolutely, realistic for consumers to consider, if I'm buying a new car, what are my options to get it repaired outside the dealer network, the official dealer network that's branded for that vehicle. And again, most people do that. Believe it or not, most people think that, well, when you buy a new car, of course you go back to the dealer for service, if not forever, at least initially during the warranty period. A certain amount of people do that, but plenty of people right off the bat either fix the car themselves at home or they take it to an independent shop, which is good, by the way, because in theory, if all the cars that were sold new had to be serviced only at dealers, the dealers wouldn't have the ability to do it. They'd be overwhelmed with too many cars. But I mean, if you live in a given location, it would behoove you to look through independent shops that are local to you and say, hey, I'm about to buy one of these. Do you have the ability to fix most, if not all, of the problems that come up with it?
The president seems like this is on his radar as well, that he spoke to leaders of Ford and General Motors about the ability for these places or people to have access to that information that you talked about to fix their own vehicles. It's kind of been dubbed this right to repair legislation. Where is that at?
Yeah, he wants people to be able to fix their own vehicles, and he thinks that shouldn't even be a question. Like anything, if you buy something in this country, the thought is that you now own it and you can do what you need to with it, whether it's fix it yourself, take it to a independent shop, or go back to the official dealer branded dealers and get it fixed. So he certainly wants that right to repair, as they say, for anyone and have as much freedom and latitude as possible. And it's interesting because there was this attempt to kind of push toward less control over this by some of the dealers and the manufacturers, and that put it on the radar for him, and he pushed it back the other direction.
So you got these vehicles now that are even more connected, electric, software driven. What does that mean for, auto repair now? I mean, will these independent mechanics adapt, or could we just see fewer of them in our neighborhoods now?
If in theory they were unable to keep repairing newer cars as readily as they have been repairing them in the past, it would absolutely start cutting into their business and could ultimately drive many of them out of business. There'll always be a certain amount of older used cars that are much easier to access and repair for any kind of shop. But over time, if they couldn't work on newer cars, it would be bad for the independent mechanics and shop industry.
How much is the cost for the software to get these updates for these cars? Like it sounds like it would be much more financially attainable for a dealership than it would be for an independent.
Yeah, and I mean, and I don't know kind of the exact figures and all that. I think a lot of that is still kind of what's being trying to be determined
Mm.
because I mean, if you think about it, it's like so many things when it comes to technology. There's really not a big cost, and the scale is like minimal, right? Once you have coding, once you have a software update, it's been figured out probably by the engineers of the automaker. Distributing it, whether it's to your own brand dealers or to all the independent shops and the branded dealers, is very inexpensive. I mean, we now know there's over-the-air updates, right, where cars can actually have updates to their software while they're sitting in your garage in the middle of the night and you're not driving them. So it really shouldn't be. I can tell you this: it shouldn't be expensive to get access to this information because all you're really doing is transmitting data over a network.
Interesting. Carl Brower with iccars.com. Thank you. Really appreciate the insight on this.
Absolutely. Fun being on with you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks for your time. Meanwhile, coming up on the other side, what have we learned from the debates thus far?
That what maybe the other person is not going to do and what that person did, and
It's their fault, not mine.
exactly.
Yeah.
Can't buy me.
We'll talk about it coming up on the other side. It's JR Morning.
Big news in the race for governor. President Trump has given John James his complete and total endorsement to be the
Coming up Wednesday on JR Morning, we'll find out if the United States can charge ships going through the Strait of Hormuz. Also, what's a synthetic persona? We'll find out. We'll also play Name That Tune at 8:49 right here on WJR, WJR.com, and the always free WJR app. We'll see you at 6:05.
James, as your governor, I will put my